And then, you're playing, such an intense sport for a couple hours, and you sort of, to be honest, like, after the game, so the game we usually say takes 2 hours. It's about 10 o'clock, and then we didn't actually get back to the hotel until probably just after 11 last night. And then then you sort of go for something to eat, and then it's about midnight anyway, and then you get back to your room, and then you're just kind of staring at the ceiling for a bit. But it's a hard part of playing the late games, I think, is just that next sort of 24 hours, because it's important the next day that you get to catch up on some sleep. So that's what I was doing this night, but I'll get a good sleep in tonight as well. But
just lastly, Connor, the power of having destiny in your own hands. If you'd lost, you're relying on other things to go your way, but as it stands, you pull that off and you're just about there. But I know you won't leave that to chance against South next week.
It's sort of been like that for a little while for us. I think it's just been, we had that really sort of bad patch of footy a little while ago, and then we started to hit our straps. And the biggest thing for us is, all year, I guess, we've been up and down, and we've got a sort of a new crew in there this year, a lot of young guys that are playing and competing for, NRL finals campaigns for their first time ever. But the biggest thing for us has just been about that consistency of doing it every week. I think you get that a little bit with a young crew. You have patches of footy where you feel really good and you play really good footy, and then it's just so easy in the NRL to not mentally be there or listen to whether it's the hype or if you're having bad form, you can get in that headspace too. But you've just got to turn up every week hungry, and now we've got nothing else but to do that. If we don't, we've got nothing. All our chips are on the table. We've got to win 5 straight now to go and achieve our goal. But it does start sort of next weekend against South now to finalise that final spot, and then it's a great occasion for us versus our arch rivals at home in the last round of the year, and a way for us to cement our spot in this year's final series.
Hey Connor, appreciate your time. Well played last night. Best of luck next week.
All good, guys. Thank you. We'll catch up soon.
Go back to bed.
See you, buddy.
Connor Watson here with us on ABC Sport, one of our favourites, of course. Hooker from the Sydney Roosters. They've beaten this year, the Roosters. They've beaten Melbourne, Brisbane and Penrith all the way. So you talk about teams that have earned the right. I mean, they've been up and down at times, but they just about locked away that top 8 spot. The most likely of those teams to make it through, even regardless probably of next week's result against South Sydney. Let's focus on things here, Luke Lewis. The issue here is the Dragons have to prove they haven't given up the fight just because they can't play finals.
No, correct. The Dragons will want to finish off on a high. Look, they've been in a lot of games this year they've lost by a lot of small margins, but they've got a few injuries at the moment, which is all teams do, and they haven't really sort of found their mojo. But tonight, I do believe this, is that both sides know they've only got 2 weeks left.
Yep.
You want to go out, you want to play footy, and you want to do it because you love it, right? And when the semi-finals, you got no games left, you've only got 2 games that sort of mean nothing. You go out and you play some footy, you go out and have fun, you do it with a smile on your face, and you sort of try your chance your arm and a few more things. So I'm hoping we see that from both sides tonight.
There's Jack de Belin celebration here as well. It's his 250th, or it was his 250th game a couple of weeks ago in New Zealand. Of course, he was one of the players that got a head knock, so he's back a fortnight later. There's signs on the outer hill here which say, thanks JDB, our heart and soul, you'll be missed, forever a saint. Yeah, of course, he's off to the Eels next year, Jack de Belin. So a little celebration here at home, at least at Cogra, for their veteran front rower. Tyrell Sloan scored 2 tries last time these sides met in round 7 at Brookvale. He's back in the side this week for the Dragons. Daly Cherry Evans, of course, played one of his better games this year last week against the Dolphins. This is his penultimate appearance in a Manly jersey. So you speak about being the second last of something, games of the season, and of course it's more than likely the second last time we see Daly Cherry Evans in that maroon and white jersey of the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles. So he'll be keen to make a big performance here as well. Manly has not won here at Cogra, by the way, Louis, since 2014. Granted, they've only played here twice in that time, in 2020 and 2022, but all the fans are lined up here, a guard of honour, and we'll see the teams out here in just a few moments' time. What are you looking forward to from the Manly Warringah perspective?
Well, I'm hoping that they come out and attack the way they played last week against the Dolphins. But they've got to turn up with more of an attitude in defence. That was one thing that was poor from Manly last week.
Here come the Seagulls, led out by Cherry Evans. Their fullback is Tom Trebojevic, wingers Jason Saber, former Dragon, and Lehigh Hopewadi. Centres Tolotau Kola and Tommy Talau. 5'8" Luke Brooks, and halfback and captain is Cherry Evans. Lock forward Jazz Tavanga. Second row is Corey Waddell and Ben Trebojevic. Props Matt Lodge and CSCY Takiaho. The hooker is Jake Simpkin. The bench is Aaron Shop, Caleb Navale, Ethan Bullimore, and time for five simply 18th man Joey Walsh for the 10 wins, 12 losses. Manly Warringah Seagulls, coached by Anthony Seibold. And the crowd have filed in here. If you just joined us, Canberra beat West Tigers 24-10 to wrap up minor premiership, and that means our top three is locked in: Canberra, Melbourne, Canterbury, and of course still some chaos there for that fourth spot on the NRL ladder as Jack DeBellin with his family holding hands with his kids and his family alongside him are running out here between that guard of honour, which has that big lit up emblazoned 250, but his 250th game at Mount Smart Stadium 2 weeks ago, and didn't complete the game due to a head knock, and now at least a celebration at home because the Dragons do play their last two games at home, here at Cogra and at Wollongong next week. Their fullback and captain is Clint Gutherson. Out they come. Wingers Christian Chulpalotu and Tyrell Sloan. Centres Hayden Buchanan and Matt Fienge. 5'8" Lycan King Tongi, our halfback Cole Flanagan. Lock Jack DeBellin. Back rowers Jacob Alangahu and Jaden Sewer. Props Emre Gula and David Clemmer, and Damien Cook is the hooker. The bench is Jacob Little, Luciano Leilua, Hame Sele and Loco Pacifici Tonga. 18th man Corey Allen. Their coach is Shane Flanagan. They are 15th, so it's 15 v 10. Our referees Adam G. We've got touch officials John Stone and Daniel Luttringer and Liam Kenny, the bunker. Michael Carianis, what's it like down there, MC?
Yeah, good conditions. Bring a little bit chilly, but the surface is in great nick. Smallish crowd considering the Dragons are done and dusted for this competition.
Yeah, we'll see if either side can put their best foot forward at least on this Saturday evening here at Cogra Jubilee. Great to have your company here on ABC Sport. Seagulls to kick off. You tip Manly, Louis. You still tipping Manly?
Yeah, I'll tip them.
Here they go, the Dragons to get first use out of that southern end of the ground, and it's fed back here on to the big fella there in Emre Gula. And speaking of Raiders, a former Raider, of course, Emre Gula will play it 15 out from that southern line. Comes to Jack DeBellin, and he's met here by a couple of Manly defenders. In there first was Waddell, alongside him also Tommy Talau. They shifted across slightly towards the right-hand side of the park, and standing there in a three-man tackle is that man out there again is in Halangahu. Swinging across back to the left-hand side of the field. Trying to get something going here, the Dragons, through David Clemmer, and he's brought down 40 short of his own, 40 out from his own line. Here's an angled run now from Flanagan, and he's tackled now, this time by Ben Trebojevic, played there by the halfback. They swing it across right-hand side. Kick from Lycan King Tonga. That will end the first set of the game there for the Dragons, and it's taken down there by Tom Trebojevic, the Manly fullback, and he's collected 25 out from his own line, northern end.
Yeah, good work there by the Dragons. Nice set, pretty hard, direct running, nice, quick, clean play the balls, but the threat there to spread it wide coming out their own end, and Flanagan throwing that little dummy and going through. There's a lot of space out wide, so they've got to continue to do that, Dragons.
Manly on the attack, 30 out from their own line. Sitkin swings it across here for Lehigh Hopewadi. The Seagulls in their famous maroon jersey with white hoops. It's Georgia Illawarra in the white, the big red V, of course, speaking of famous jerseys. Both sides in white shorts. It's ripped wide here from Simpkin, off to Jazz Tavanga, who's off to Wakefield Trinity next year, the former Warrior. Into play at metre short of halfway. On play 4, now they come here, the Seagulls. Starting run now from Tom Trebojevic, and he's collected 40 out. Now, in fact, it is last play for the Seagulls. Simpkin, open side left here for Luke Brooks. Played every game since coming across to the Seagulls, and his kick goes down to the corner there for Tyrell Sloan. It's come loose and now piled on here. Has it been one back here for Manly? It has. No play it, 8 out deep in that corner. Ben Trebojevic on here to Brooks, and a big tackle there on the edge. Tyrell Sloan on Lehigh Hopewadi to affect that ball out over the eastern side of the ground, deep in that southeastern corner of Jubilee Stadium, Cogra, where we've played 2.5 minutes. Dragons nil, Manly nil. MC on the touchline.
Yeah, big couple of minutes there for Sloan. Obviously made that handling error, and it was a poor pass from Manly because it was Luke Brooks. There wasn't much room there for Lehigh Hopewadi to work with. Sloan just had to get a fingertip on him, and it would have pushed him him over the line. Touch one.
Sorry, I just cut you off. Sorry, MC. Back to you shortly. 2.5 minutes played here so far on this Saturday, of course. This is the second of our 3 games as DeBellin feeds it again through centre field off to Emre Gula. And he's stopped 25 out, 20 in from the eastern side of the ground. From dummy half they go, Damien Cook. And again, he can just dart into Jake Simpkin. Played 35 out now here for the St George Illawarra Dragons. Clemmer tackled there by Waddell on the 40. Played to Cook on this last play here for the Dragons. Kick by Flanagan this time. High in the air it goes. And chased back there by Lehigh Pawadi. He'll go end over end and go dead. That kick from Flanagan in the end. So that will be a restart from 20 and 7 tackles for the Mount Warringah Seagulls. No score so far here, Luke Lewis. 4 minutes played first half on ABC Sport.
Yeah, a bit unlucky there for Kyle Flanagan. He puts a nice kick up, gets some good metres on it, but the miscommunication in the back two in Tom Trebojevic there and Hopewadi, the ball makes the big bounce and goes dead and gives away a 7-tackle set, but they're doing not too bad a job at the moment, the St George Dragons.
Cowboys, Broncos coming up next in Townsville with Quentin Hull on the team there. Here's Waddell on this right-hand side run, 40 out from the Dragons line. On play 2 now for the Seagulls. They come short side right. Cherry Evans look to wrong foot the man there on the edge in Matt Fienge. He'll play it now. Cherry Evans, 28 out. They're going to get a set restart here, the Seagulls. So a full set now, 30 out from the Dragons line. Tavunga through hands to Brooks. Low ball to Trebojevic. Still runs the footy here. Breaks Flanagan tackle. Dragged down eventually there. 12 out from the St George Illawarra line. Dummy half Ben Trebojevic. Back to Brooks. Back to the right-hand side now. Lodge straightens his run toward the post here. Matt Lodge scored tries in back-to-back games, the front rower. Speaking of veterans, he'll play it. 7 out right-hand side of the post. And away they come. This is only play 2 now for the Seagulls. Inside ball from Cherry Evans to Corey Waddell, who helps himself with the easiest of tries and improves the angle behind the post as well. Now they're in first here at Cogra. 4-0 kick to come. 5 going first half on ABC Sport. You're with Luke Lewis.
Yeah, well, this is soft. Really, really soft here for a simple try from the Manly side. And it was just Daly Cherry Evans getting the ball, skipping across field. He's been dangerous with his runs early. He's had a couple of nice little settlers. And then when he gets the ball, he just skips across field and just gets a simple little inside pass. And Waddell couldn't believe his luck. You look up and there's about 3 or 4 metres to run straight into with an open try line. Beautiful try there from Manly. Poor defence from the Dragons.
And MC on the touchline.
Yeah, not much doing there defensively from the Dragons. That's really poor. Nice little underplay there from Daly Cherry Evans, but the Dragons inside, man, just all that seed defensively there. I think Gutherson overcorrects. Poor play there from the Dragon skipper.
So this will be an assignment directly in front here for Daly Cherry Evans, who of course last week, Louis, what did he had like? They're in 58 points, and he kicked. That's my book going.
Yeah, I think he kicked 9 from 10.
Something like that. Yes. I lost. There was actually too many. There weren't enough lines in my book to write his kicking tally in last week. Here he is directly in front. There's 2 points there for the Seagulls for a total of 6 so far. So 6-0 is Manly's early lead here at Cogra Jubilee. 6 minutes played here in the first half on ABC Sport. Off the SMS. Great call, lads. Don't write off our Queensland Storm boys yet. Brown Dog and the Sunny Coast. Is that sort of a joke? That, do you know what? I reckon the Titans have been so bad this year. You know how Melbourne were always like Queensland's 4th team? They're probably still the 4th team, and the Titans sit below. I think that's what Brown Dog's saying. Still waiting for the wash-up from the Blues formal review after the series. MC, have anything asked Jack from Newcastle? I mean, the Origin series. A long time ago. They're done with that. 6-0. The scoreline here at Jubilee Stadium, Cogra. Dragons kick us back off. You're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis here on this Saturday afternoon, becoming evening, and now Lodge. With that across the defensive line, tackled there by Gula and also Damien Cook. And tackled 11 out from that northern end here. Get to more of your texts and around the ground shortly as well. Here's the first run of the game from Siasiwa Takiyahu. 2-time premiership winning Rooster. 20 out centre field. Simpkin off to Jazz Tavunga. Gains a dozen here now for the Seagulls. Taken down low there by Gula, and up top Halangahu. Simpkin off to the left-hand side now is Lodge. Through the gap now, Takiyahu, not quite. He stopped 7 short of the halfway line. Couple of plays left this set now as Benro gets involved. Run down by DeBellin. This is last play, Manly. 6-0 their lead here at Cogra as Cherry Evans sends a high right foot boot towards that far corner. And it's down there for Gutherson. They pile on him, Luke Lewis. He'll play out 13 out. They'll start a new set for the Dragons. They trail 6-0.
Yeah, well, the thing for me is the attitude in defence for the Dragons at the moment. It is not there. The way that the Manly side are coming out of their own end, so simple, easy metres. They're getting 60 or 70 metres upfield with ball in hand, then come up with a nice kick. So they've got to switch on with their defensive attitude.
And here is a run for the Dragons. And again, it was nicely done out there. Jaden Sewer is back from that knee injury. Now Jack DeBellin. Second last play. Now it's the last, in fact, for the Dragons. Flanagan's kick. High and long downfield. Hopewadi receives that ball on his chest. The Manly winger skips into the defensive line there. He slips the tackle of Halangahu. Still going here. And then making sure of it there, Emre Gula. Wraps up Hopewadi, 31 out from that northern line. Manly on the attack is Jason Saab, a former Dragon. And he's actually trialless in his last 4 games, Jason Saab. So he'll play it now up the tackle. 40 out from that northern line. Simpkin spots up again a man running by in Takiyaho, and he'll play it now for the Seagulls. Metre short of halfway. Simpkin wide to Devanga. Off to Brooks, and now bursting by. Good pace now towards our Kohler. He steps in field where he's tackled by Flanagan, 40 out. And this will be second last play for the Seagulls. Now the last, 30 out from St George Illawarra's line. 6-0 is the Manly Warringah lead as it comes to first lever Cherry Evans. His kick goes up in the air. Gutherson will launch. Oh, it's come down here. Still the last as it's spilled by Tom Trebojevic. Ricochets away to Tyrell Sloan. He bursts away here before he's collared by Corey Waddell, the try scorer in this game so far. Dragons back on the attack. We trail 6-0. 9 gone first half, Louis.
Well, just there, Spriggy, another 70-metre set with ball in hand there from Manly. They're kicking, 15 metres out from the Dragons. Their attitude in defence is horrible.
Tuapolotu involved again here for the Dragons. Tackled, now plays it. Now it's with Matt Fienge. Spins it through centre field now. DeBellin, Gutherson wide there for Sloan. Set him a task. Sloan did retrieve the footy in the end, but he's slowed down trying to dive for that ball. So he's 30 up against that eastern touchline. Rolls it back here now for Flanagan on a jinking run where he's tackled by Benro BK15 and Luke Brooks. 9 going first half. Manly 6, St George Illawarra 0 here at Cobra Jubilee. Fed back here now by Jaden Sewer. Headed back here for the Dragons. Still alive. Got some shake going left-hand side. Up the edge they go here with Fienge. Shows off Terry Evans. On the inside now, King Tongia. Back now to the fullback Gutherson. And now King Tongia here again. Takes on Brooks. Beats it for speed. Scores a try. Dragons are in. Great team try on that left edge for St George Illawarra. And it's scored by Lycan King Tongia. Just his second try of this season and of his career. And it's 6-4. Kick to come Dragons. 10 gone first half. Luke Lewis.
Yeah, well, if they're going to win this game today, they're going to continue to play like this because at the moment it's not about defence. It's about attacking. And they keep this really nice little offload is what kept the ball alive. And good work here from the Dragons to shift out to the left. Really good footwork there from, I think it was Matthew Fienge. Just comes off his left foot, uses that little flick pass, keeps the ball alive. And then Lycan King Tongia, he's on the spot. He's the man to get the last pass and scores a try. And that's a really good way for the Dragons to strike back because nothing was really doing for them. They weren't coming out their own end too well there. It was just that offload, that second phase play that really troubled the Manly defence.
I was liking that try. Down to UMC.
Yeah, that was outstanding. Bit of work from the Dragons because L came out of nothing. They've been on the back foot, particularly defensively to start this game. But a nice bit of interchange of passing, support play up the middle for the Dragons to score the first points.
Here is Carl Flanagan. He's a very slight angle and 12 metres out now from that northern line here at Jubilee Stadium, Cogra. Jack and Port Macquarie asks, have the Dragons actually gotten better this year? Currently 15th. Best they can finish is 14th. Well, here's Flanagan, by the way, and over it goes for the extra 2. So it's 6-all here, St George Illawarra and Manly Warringah on ABC Sport with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis and Michael Carianis. They've shown improvement, Louis, and really pushed some teams along the way, but they did lose 40 block last week to the Rabbitohs, who have, of course, not been the best version of themselves either.
On the ladder, I don't think they're moving forward, but when it comes to some games on the field where they've been in, it's just sort of been a 10-minute switch off. So I feel like they've gotten better over longer periods of game time. So whereas, years before they'd only play for 50 minutes, whereas now they seem to be playing for 60 or 70 minutes. But if they get a big pre-season, keep their players on the field, they're due 40-plus players this year. Very hard to keep that combination right on the footy field. But I feel like they have taken a couple of steps in the right direction.
Ty said, can MC give me his tip the Hoover on last Melbourne Cup? I need the win. Yes, that after earlier. Canberra, the Raiders, of course, secured them on a premiership after Michael's early season prediction that they would finish last. The Raiders will finish top, and they did receive the JJ Gilpin Shield in that presentation a short time ago at a packed Canberra Stadium. They beat the West Tigers 24-10. Now a run from Jaden Sewer, St George Illawarra. His leg was pulled there by Tabunga. The ball comes loose though. It's one back here for the Seagulls, so they'll get possession 30 out now to the field, looking to respond here to that St George Illawarra try. They scored the first of the game through Corey Waddell. Through hands it comes. Takiao to his fellow prop in Matt Lodge, and he's brought down 30 out, 20 in from the western side. Simpkin floats a long and deep pass across there for Cherry Evans. Back on the inside now to Tavunga. He's tackled by DeBell. 20 out middle of the park here, the Seagulls. On play 3. Wait comes to Brooks. He dummies the pass and is stopped by Halangahu. 20 out, 10 out and 20 in from the western side. Cherry Evans on to Waddell, and he's dragged down by King Tongia at Alfing in there, and they drag him all the way towards the western touchline. And that was good solid defence there from the Dragons. We'll get possession back. It's 6 all the scoreline here. 12 gone first half on ABC Sport. Back to the touchline off with Carianis.
Yeah, that was good defence there again by the Dragons. Just a little bit of too much sideways from the Seagulls in that set.
So, we'll come back here for the Dragons. I lost the text line briefly. 0467 920 222. NRLW first half. Cowboys Roosters still 0-0. I'll go through a few more of those around the ground shortly as well, including Queensland Cup and New South Wales Cup as well. Atul Piloto, who was part of that big gang tackle, is brought down himself here, 12 out from his own line. Dummy half Cook across here again, this time for Halangahu, who turned 19 during the week. Jacob Halangahu debuted here a few weeks ago against Cronulla, and this is a big tackle on Jack DeBellin from Tavunga. Play it there, DeBellin, 30 out from his own line. Right hand side they shift it now, breaking through Sloan, brought down from behind. In fact, it's Sewer who's brought down from behind, 8 short of halfway, as Gutherson back here again. It's shifted back now to Halangahu, tries to pop out the offload, can't do so effectively. He's 5 inside Manly territory. It's still 6 all the scoreline here, Dragons and Seagulls on ABC Sport. Last play kick from Flanagan, up it goes, allowed to bounce there by Cherry Evans, bounces back here for Clemmer, he bats it back towards Flanagan, sends the pass all the way across down here to Tyrell Sloan. He goes on the toe, but the ball goes wayward out over the eastern touchline, 10 shy of the corner post. So it remains St George Illawarra 6, Manly Warringah 6, 13 and a half played first half on ABC Sport. Luke Lewis.
They're not looking too bad in attack, are they, the Dragons? And they showed a little bit of attitude in their last defensive set when they drove them into Manly into touch. So they're slowly picking their game back up, and they're looking good.
And Manly waste no time here as well. Saab is put down by 4 Dragons, 15 out, 20 in from the western side. His skipper, Cherry Evans, a dummy half. He waits and now sends the pass across here. On that open side, trying to get something going here is Tommy Talau. His first carry of the game. Rolls it back now for Simpkin. Onto Takiaho, and he's pressing into that wall of Red V defence here. 40 out from his own line. Tackled by Gula. Plays it straight away there for Simpkin. Now Lodge gains it out 15 more. He's over halfway with a couple of plays left in the set. 6 all the scoreline. Manly and the Dragons on ABC Sport. Brooks back on the inside now for Ben Trebojevic, and he's playing 35 out, 20 in from that far side. And that will be penalty here for Manly as Sewer was going on with it there in the ruck with Ben Trebojevic. So penalty Manly, 6 all the scoreline here, Louis, 15 gone first half.
Yeah, there was a bit of a ball plant there too from Ben Trebojevic, so he gets lucky there, but just goes a little bit too much, put a little bit of hip into him, pushes him off the mark. But again, it's just way too many easy meters there for Manly, and here they get a really good set, a full set in the Dragons territory.
25 out from that southern line, attacking here the Seagulls. as carrying it into that crowded area, middle of the ground there is Takiyaho. Simpkin off to Brooks, inside ball to Lodge, shrugs away Damien Cook. Cook's second effort stops him, 10 out. Simpkin fires it back here for Brooks, on to Cherry Evans, and Sewer gets him. Oh, one-on-one steal, effective there for the Dragons. Well done there by Jaden Sewer from one of his former Queensland teammates. But they're having a chat about whether this will be challenged. Here we go.
Coming into 3, or that was 3 because on the ground, okay? Man-man challenge, and I ruled that Daly as he rolled it, lost it into a defender prior to them grabbing it.
What do you reckon, Louis? You've got eagle eyes. It's the furthest corner of the ground.
I'd need X-ray eyes, but well, Daly Cherry Evans, he's the captain. He's making the challenge straight away.
It's initially a one-on-one tackle.
So he's still got the ball in hand. And
Jaden Stewart then strips the ball. We need to now see if there is a second man in the tackle.
Flanagan's sort of there, yeah.
So it's going to be interesting just to see when that ball comes out and when Flanagan touches Daly Cherry Evans. I'll tell you what, if he gets a tip on here too, I reckon it's untouched there, Tom Trebojevic. If he goes in, still only one-on-one. Kyle comes in now, touches him. Ball get ripped out.
Confirming Daly Cherry Evans doesn't lose the ball prior to the contact.
That's our bunker of Liam Kennedy / Luke Lewis.
Well, he's definitely not losing the ball.
Daly
It's
Cherry
getting
Evans
raked out.
has secure possession.
And then Flanagan touches him there.
Yeah.
Jaden Sewer strips the ball
One.
prior
Well,
to Kyle Flanagan.
His arm must be visible. Because I can
so
say
one-on-one steal, and that's how it remained on field, at least. That was the call early on. So Dragons will have possession, 10 out from their own line, southern end. 16 gone first half. 6-all is the scoreline.
Kyle Flanagan's hand is on him right there before he rips it out. That's classed as in the tackle.
We'll carry on.
The ball then touches Daly Cherry Evans. This will be a knock-on by the Dragons. The captain's challenge is successful.
Got there eventually, but Louis was right. His right hand touches the back of Daly Cherry Evans as Jaden Sewer's ripping at the ball. So it should have been a penalty, but the end result is a Manly ball.
Okay, right. Well, I thought we were done 10 seconds ago, but there we go. We roll on here, and it is a successful challenge for the Seagulls. So a scrum feed, 10 out centre field, attacking that southern end, which the Dragons are defending. Tries so far to Corey Waddell and Lycan King Tongia at either end of the field, as Manly feeds the scrum from that left-hand side. Comes to the right, Tom Trebojevic tries to dart away on the inside there of King Tongia and Gutherson, and now it's going to be penalty Manly again. The Dragons' defence a little overzealous there, so they'll tap here, 10 out from that southern line. Simpkin, Cherry Evans, and now Lodge stands in a 4-man tackle in that Lodge, now brought to his knees by DeBellin. 8 out left-hand side of the post. Simpkin on to Cherry Evans, inside ball Waddell, looking for try number 2, and he's stopped in his tracks there. 3.5 shy of that southern line here at Calgary Jubilee. Plays it now to Simpkin. Slips to tackle at Clemmer, and they pile on him. Jake Simpkin became a dad 2 weeks ago before kick-off at the Sydney Footy Stadium against West Tigers, and now Waddell, he tries to take on that defensive line-up against that right hand upright there at that southern end. Simpkin across now again to Vunga. Stop by the he's still going here to Vunga like a wrecking ball. Breaks through tackles. Still a shy though here for the Seagulls, and this will be last play as it comes left-hand side of the field. Brooks dummies the pass and now releases, but on that last play they don't quite have the finish there, the Seagulls, and getting up underneath all of that is Tommy Talau. So that will be a changeover. Dragons back on the attack, Louis. 6-all the scoreline. 17 gone. 23 left in the first half.
Yeah, good work there by the Dragons to defend their line the way they did. But I think the couple of stoppages there might have helped them as well, just to get a nice set defensive line. And they get the penalty as they come out of their own end now. They're going to try to take a quick cut there, Damien Cook. They'll kick upfield and they'll take a little bit of pressure off them.
Let's get the touchline off Carianis.
Yeah, they need a breather, the Dragons, because they've done a lot defensively over the past couple of minutes, but Manly went close through Tommy Talau, and it's interesting, Tommy Talau has been playing on the right-hand side of the field for the entirety of this game, moved to the left-hand side of the field for that play, with young Kohler playing as a bit of a link man out the back.
A bit of a limp there for Cole Flanagan as well, so we'll keep an eye on that as he remains out there for the time being. Off the SMS, let's go the Mighty Seagulls all the way from Moree, Mike Ahoy, and Steve asks from Gulgong, is Andrew Moore recovering well? Yes, he is, Steve. He's still recovering from his medical episode, of course, which you can understand. And here they get 6 more here, the St George Illawarra Dragons. So a full set, 35 out from the northern line. Flanagan, as through centre field they go. Feeing waits for it on the outside there. Gutherson wrapped up by Jason Saab. 30 out, 20 in from the western side. 6 all's our score line here as we approach the halfway mark of this opening 40-minute period. It's with Emre Gula. Plays it now, 20 out for the Dragons. Cook on to Flanagan, now to Bellin. And inside 20 he goes before Takiyaho's grabbing him. Cook now on play 4. Comes to Flanagan. They jump on top of him as well. 15 out as he does surrender there. Kyle Flanagan. Play it there for Cook. Short to the right-hand side there for Clemmer. Bounced off Ben Trebojevic. Takiyaho can't quite offload Clemmer. And he's stopped here. 5 out from that northern line, right-hand side of the post. Last play, Cook, Flanagan. Through hands it goes. Bursting by Halengahu. Oh, it's been dropped by Gutherson. Into the path of Cherry Evans coming the other way. And that will be it was lost by the Dragons, so it will be a Manly Warringah ball. That was Trebojevic getting up there. Tom Trebojevic with a big collision there with the 2 fullbacks. And he's just being assessed here on field. Tom Trebojevic, not far away from our vantage point here at Cogra. Manly ball, 6 all the scoreline, 19 gone first half, Louis.
Well, Halengalu does a great job there. He comes through the hole nicely, holds that ball out, gets the perfect pass there to Clint Gutherson. He just couldn't pull it in. You can see Tom Trebojevic coming at him. If he catches that ball, they've got 3 Dragons to his left, lining up for a try, and they would have been in front.
Bullymall's in action here for the Seagulls. Scored a try against the Dolphins last week. I think most of them did, it seemed anyway. A bunch of them scored a couple of tries in that 58-30 win. Brooks, Hopewadi scored 2, Tom Trebojevic as well. And away they go here, up that left-hand side of the field. There's a good burst from Tolatakola. He makes the break. Off over halfway he goes. Darts on the infield now and beats that last line of defence and goes to the score. That was just far too simple there for the Seagulls. Tolatakola with a 70-metre run there for the Seagulls to make it 10-6, kick to come at the halfway mark of this opening 40 at Cogra.
Yeah, well, Kohler had a blinder last week. He scored, I think, 2 from memory, and he had absolute...
Just the one. Memory's terrible.
What was he?
Just the one.
Oh, it was a 1. Well, he must have went across and got disallowed. But, yeah, look, I thought he was outstanding last week, the way that he played. And then, again, tonight, just getting the ball in his hand nice and early, just uses his speed and his strength. And I thought he actually blew it here. He had a couple of players pushing up on the inside. I thought he would have just drawn past Clint Gutherson, but he goes, nah, I'm not even going to risk the pass here. I'm just going to use my speed. And
backed himself in.
Comes back in, off his left foot, scores a beautiful try. Good work there from Kohler.
Down at MC on the touchline.
Just shows how bad that drop ball was from Clint Gutherson a moment ago. They should have scored. It was an easy catch to take from a nice ball from young Jacob Halengahu. Spills that ball, Clint Gutherson, and he's not having a great night.
So, for whatever context it requires, Manly, their mathematical chance of making the top 8 relies on them winning by like 50 or 60, both this week and effectively next week against the Warriors as well. So that's just, I'll mention that once, but really it doesn't really apply to any realistic chance of what it all means for September action for the Sea Eagles. So here is Cherry Evans. He's 20 out and 20 in from the eastern side of Jubilee Stadium to make it 12-6 here. Setting sun on the western side behind us. Right foot kick. He's 1 from 1. Make it 2 from 2 for DCE. It's Manly Warringah 12, St George Illawarra 6, 18.50 left. 0467 920 222. Adam the Truckie, afternoon gents, listening while driving at work. Loving the call. Tip my Dragons today. Finishing off the season with a couple of wins would be good. Yeah, at home in Wollongong next week as well, Adam, against the Panthers. Mr. Bigglesworth says, congratulations, Canberra. Great achievement for 2025. Happy for Ricky and the team. It'll be an epic grand final to see Panthers v Raiders, but preferably the Mighty Roosters will knock both teams out respectively. Is that possible? What do I think about that? And Dano in Athens in Greece said, guys, I think it would be great to see the Raiders get on with it. Sticky deserves it and the team. Lovely having his son Jet involved. Hoping for a Cinderella finish for them. Now my Dragons have packed up 2025. When you Damo, and the Dragons do trail here. 12-6 at the hands of the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles. Bullymore carries it back into the defensive line from the kickoff. 15 out from that northern line. Simpkin, a flat ball there for Tavanga. He straightens his run toward the Bellin and also in there Gula. It'll play at 20 out here for Manly. Simpkin again looks to spot up a target, and the man running by at first receiver is Takiyaho. Plays at 30 out. Simpkin back to the right hand side. Cherry Evans. Some pace now from Tom Trebojevic. On now back to Tommy Talau, and he's claimed just short of the halfway. Tom Trbojevic bursts away, back there for a nice flick pass from Cherry Evans onto Jason Saab, back on the inside for his skipper, and DCE goes the rest of the way. That's great finishing from Manly. But he set the pass up there, Cherry Evans. Nice flick pass back there to Jason Saab. And Jason Saab, who's been devoid of tries for a month, goes back to his captain. And it's a nice finish there from Cherry Evans. Back-to-back tries now for the Seagulls. 16-6 kick to come, Manly, Louis. 17-40 left in the first half.
Yeah, that was a really good set there for Manly. A couple through the middle. They shift over to the right edge. Nothing really doing. Quick play the ball. And smart work here by Tom Trbojevic. Gets out. He can feel the marker come. And he knew Daly Cherry Evans was still alive. And then just quick hands to find Saab with all the speed on the outside, and then Daly Cherry Evans does what he does best, pushes up the middle of the field and gets a pass back on the inside and scores a nice try. But that little flick pass to find Saab, gee, he made that look easy, but it was a beautiful one. It hits him on the chest, and Manly just looking sharp with the ball in the hand at the moment.
Touchline, Michael Carianis.
Yeah, we spoke about this pre-game. The Dragons don't want to get into a game of touch footy with this Manly side because they just won't have the class nor speed to go with them. And unfortunately for the Dragons, that looks like the way it's headed at the moment.
Here's the kick from Cherry Evans. He's directly in front, only 10 metres out. As I mentioned earlier, 2 from 2 so far tonight. They polled some points from the Dolphins last week, and it's looking similar here, albeit just those 3 tries to 1, and there is the conversion from Daly Cherry Evans. So 18-6 is our scoreline here at Jubilee Stadium, Cogra. 0467 920 222. More of those coming through thick and fast. What's the crowd figure? Asks Wazza. Not sure of that quite yet. MC did say it's not the greatest crowd, I suppose, given that the games are of no real consequence for the Dragons, but they are finishing off with 2 home fixtures this week at Cogra and next week in Wollongong. Derek from Glebe, the King has a mighty blow-up in him when his team makes mistakes after that mistake. Who will he blow up at? Himself? Gutho, I imagine. Because, yes, it was his error which resulted in that try earlier to Tolotau Kola at the other end of the ground. Now they bring the footy back here from the kickoff with this after points set, and Bullimore plays it for Simpkin. Takiyaho tries to just step his way past Halangahu, stopped there by Jack de Bellin, and this is play 2 now for the Seagulls. Jazz Tavanga up against Halangahu, and again coming in there late de Bellin, 30 out, 20 in from the western side. Simpkin, I'll shift it across left-hand side of the field now, Manly. Tom Trbojevic, where they go again up that dangerous left edge where Tolotau Kola scored a short time ago, and he's playing it now just inside Dragons territory. Angled run now, Ben Trbojevic. This is last play coming up, Manly. 40 out from St George Illawarra's line. Comes to Cherry Evans. One big step and a kick high in the air. Gutherson parks himself under it, and he's run down there by Lehigh Hopewadi, and they'll start a new set there. The Dragons 10 out from their own line at Southern End. 18-6 is Manly's lead here. 15 and a half left in the first half.
Oh, you got to like that if you're a Manly supporter, watching what they're doing at the moment. Set after points, go 90 metres. They run upfield nicely, get a great kick. Their kick chase is perfect, and they land the ball 10 metres out from the Dragons' line. That is almost a perfect set after points.
Centre field played here by the Dragons as Little sets up there at dummy half. He's into the action. And he waits behind Fienge. Played across to de Bellin, and they're almost lost, but retrieved on the way down here by that man reaching for it out there in Flanagan. Played there, 30 out. Cook. And now a kick from King Tonga. High and long downfield it goes onto the chest of Jason Saab. And Manly leads 18 points to 6 here. Saab makes light work there of Fienge, and eventually is stopped 6 short of halfway by Halangahu first of all. Now it comes to Tom Trbojevic. It's his 4th game back now at fullback. Tom Trbojevic, of course, there was a bit of experimentation going on there with Lehigh Hopewadi as well, and Tom there in the centres. Here's Navale off the bench as well. Plays it for Simpkin. This is second last coming up here for the Seagulls. Corey Waddell makes a few more metres. 30 out, 20 in western side here. Seagulls lead 18-6 on ABC Sport. 14 left before half-time. Takiyahu stands in the tackle of Cook and also Gula. Now it's the last for the Seagulls. Simpkin 20 out, fires it to Navale, and now Brooks on to Tom Trbojevic. He dummies and crashes over. Is he there with momentum? He might well be.
What do you got for
Let's have a listen.
Initially? Okay. All right. No, I'm going to start. I'll check. I've already got time off. Coming in to tackle 6, mate. Actually, I want to see where the ball lands from my angle. I thought short touch judge actually has it potentially on the line before the roll.
Okay, again, it's that very far southeastern corner of the ground, which is no good at all to us.
Yeah, but like Adam G explained it there, I know what I'm looking for now.
Yes.
It looked like he comes short from Adam G's angle, but then he's saying the touch judge saw the try, the ball hit the line. So if we get a view from the other side, the view that it's showing us now, we're not getting much from. No. I'm going to say that's momentum, and I reckon that does go on the line.
Always takes Tom Trbojevic into the goal. Just need to confirm if the ball touches the line.
Looks like it doesn't.
From there, looks like it touches the line 100%.
It had to have.
Yeah, right there.
It bounces up, yeah.
Yeah, that's try.
Despite the best efforts out there by Buchanan.
Looking at all available angles to see if the ball gets to the line.
At the other angles, he's better. That there.
None of these are very good at all.
You can see the other angle. Right there.
He sort of somersaults. The ball is up again. It's definitely come down at some stage.
Right there.
At least on the line or over it, yeah. This will be a try for Tom Trbojevic if they can find something discernible, though, with the evidence available.
It's definitely on the line. But are they going to get enough, clear enough view to show?
Yeah.
Based on all available angles, and the on-field decision of no try will be supporting this decision.
Wow, okay. Absolutely. It looked for all like it was at least on the line there, MC, but no try, Tom Trbojevic.
Yeah, to be fair, boys, I don't know. We don't have the greatest vantage point here. I don't think it was clear cut. So I'm going to back the bunker there, considering the vision that they would have seen compared to what we're afforded at the ground.
I guess beyond most doubt, you'd say there's a grounding there somewhere, but we never actually saw it. We never actually saw the ball on the line.
I can understand why they said it, but if you know football, you know that's on the line. But at the end of the day, they couldn't get a clear shot of the ball touching the line.
Manly 18, Dragons 6. Penalty going the way of St George Illawarra out of their own end at southern side. 0467920222. Captain's challenge coming up here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what it was for.
Okay, Liam.
But there was a penalty to the Dragons.
It was tackle 1 complete. We want to check if it's a strip or lost into contact.
Any chance of some of these things happening in the part of the ground nearest to us?
It never does. Even when me and Andrew were calling it, it's always in that back corner where you just can't see anything.
We'll see on the replay here, hopefully at least.
And sometimes this TV's normally out, so we're actually pretty lucky.
So Varley makes the tackle on Sewer. Is it stripped by one of the extra Seagulls that comes in?
Don't see anything. I don't think that's a strip. That's loose.
Just lost it there in the tackle.
Looks like a loose carry to me. But who knows?
He's got the right hand underneath.
Oh, hang on.
That's a loose
Looking
carry.
at all available angles to see if there's any strip from the Manly players.
The other angle showed it. You don't see any stripping motion. There's no stripping motion you can see there, and the ball comes loose.
Where if there's extra scrutiny on the bunker today, just off the back of last night, which we agreed, by the way, in Auckland was the correct call by the bunker. Adam Pompey.
The Manly players are just making a tackle. The Dragon player loses possession. The captain's challenge is successful.
We've seen 2 successful challenges so far this afternoon.
Well, we finally got there. We can only see it about 10 minutes ago because we had 10 minutes of play. But we got there. Manly got it right. Good challenge.
13:40 left in this first half on ABC Sport. You're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis, and many of you sending your best wishes to Andrew Moore, which is fantastic. And I know he certainly appreciates those as he recovers from his recent health scare. Scrum feed here for the Seagulls, 20 out centre field. They swing it across right-hand side of the paddock. It is here now for Tommy Talau, and he's collected now 15 out from that southern line. Through hands again. Simpkin, Navale now back on the inside. Tackled ball and all there for the Seagulls is Bully Moore. Simpkin back to Cherry Evans, and now in close to Tom Trbojevic. He dummies, goes himself, and this time well short, so he's stopped. A few metres shy here for the Seagulls. This is play 3. Comes across here to Navale. Run down from behind by Gula. Will play it cleanly here now for Simpkin. Back here to Bully Moore, pressing toward the upright southern end. Now it's last play for the Seagulls, who lead 18-6 here at Cogra. Long pass across to the left now, Cherry Evans. It was quite flat there for Tyler Taukola, and he's again in that deep southeast corner, and that's the last play. The changeover now coming up for the Dragons. As I say, trail 18-6 at the hands of Manly. 12:50 left first half, and the MC on the touchline.
Yeah, the Seagulls are loving going to the respective edges from both sides. It's a bit of confusion there as the Dragons played the ball and wasn't sure if Adam G had restarted the play there, but they're loving going to the edges. Just on the conditions, boys, there's a strong, very significant breeze behind the backs of the Dragons. They just haven't been able to utilise it in this first half.
I think Adam G just said, fair enough. Away you go.
Yeah, but there was no hooker there.
So, here they go. Tuapolotu is through centre field now for the Dragons, of course, against his old side. Tuapolotu, former Seagull and Rooster. Through hands, King Tonga back to Halangahu, and now he's claimed in there by Navale. Metre short of halfway. Last play, Dragons. Cook off to Flanagan. High kick down towards this northwestern corner. Tom Trebojevic slips over. 25 out from his own line, and will now make still 10 minutes here for Tom Trebojevic. 10 in from the western side.
That's ridiculous. Tom Trebojevic gets that ball, goes into the defensive line, walking, and then carries in 10 metres. That's a great little carry there from Tom Trebojevic.
It's been lacklustre the Dragons' defence though, 18-6. But they go open side left. Get to MC very shortly as the play continues for the time being. Coming up over halfway here, the Seagulls getting up to play it slowly as Hopewadi. Simpkin off here to Takayaho. Over halfway he goes, and there's 3 Dragons there to greet him. 40 out from that southern line. A couple of plays left in the set here. Manly leads 18-6, 11 left in this first half as Cherry Evans off to Corey Waddell. He was the first try scorer in the game. Clemmer reaching over the top there. Big tall David Clemmer, and Waddell will play it now. 30 out, 20 in from the western side. The short side they go to a kick from Cherry Evans into the set, and it's high in the air. Gutherson comes in, wrapped up 10 out from his own line. It's going to be fed back here, but it was deemed here penalty Manly. You can see he's scored escort there, like in King Tonga, says ref Adam G. Let's get down to MC on the touchline.
Yeah, bad news for the Seagulls. Talatau Cole has come from the field. He struggled to regain his feet after almost scoring in that last set. He's gone on the far side of the field. He spent some time with the trainers, but they've made the decision to take him off.
Okay, thanks MC. Potentially more to come from that. Adam G hadn't yet blown time back on. Manly will tap here, 12 out for the back of the penalty. Escort penalty here going their way. Bullymore inside 8 metres now at that southern end. Simpkin dummy half off the Cherry Evans. Back on the inside to Navale. He takes Gutherson and Clemmer with him, and he's almost there. Navale will play it now. 3 out from that southern line, dead centre field. 18-6 Manly's lead. 10 left first half. Cherry Evans, Tom Trebojevic slipped over in the tackle there and lost the ball as well. So too did Cook on the overlap. So, as you heard there, double knock on, and it will be a scrum feed here. 10 metres out from that southern line, going the way of the Dragons out of their own end. 9:50 left here, Louis. 0467920222. Jim from Gloucester says we've got to get rid of the bunker and leave the game to the officials. They get calls wrong more than right. I don't know if that's true. I think you're better off having a bunker with the right technology, but it's not always.
Well, they got that call right last night, the Warriors, and if they didn't have the bunker, they wouldn't have got it right.
Yeah.
So, I understand the frustration. There's good and bad by both ways, but I tell you, one plus here for the Dragons is Kohler going off. I'll tell you what, every time he got the ball, he had spiders on him. They didn't want to tackle him, so that's a good sign there for the Dragons. Bad for Manly, but Manly are making a lot of opportunities on both sides of the ruck at the moment.
12-point up for the Seagulls way. 18-6 the scoreline as the Dragons are on the attack with a run this time from Hame Sele. So he's back among the returns from that round 24 head knock. His second year back at St George Illawarra. Hame Sele was born right here in Cogra. Hospital just down the road. Here they go, short of the halfway. Clemmer will play it now. Cook explodes from dummy half. Gets a cheeky 10 metres now as Simpkin wraps him up there. It's going to be here a set restart for the Dragons as Simpkin was offside. So it's played now to Gutherson, and now he feeds it across left-hand side of the park. And in the 3-man tackle is that man Hame Sele. 35 out, 20 in western side. Dragons with their best look of the game for a fair while. Flanagan spins out of the tackle of Simpkin, takes on Bullymore, and he's put on his back 25 out centre field. This is play lead 2 now for the Dragons, who trail 18-6 at the hands of Manly. And impressive run this time up that right-hand side of the field now. It's Alan Garr involved. It's come back left-hand side on the edge here to a Pilotu into the clutches there of Tommy Talau. He's put down deep in that northwestern corner of the ground. Couple of plays left here. Dragons, best look so far. Gutherson on here again, King Tongia. And now Flanagan. Show and go here before he's collared by Ben Trebojevic and also Simkin, and will play it 11 out from that northern line. Pacific Tonga's out there as well for the Dragons, excuse me. Involved now again is Hame Sele. It's come back here, deflected away in the path of Jason Saab, and he is stopped by Gutherson, and Saab will play it here for Manly, just shy of his own 40, and they lead 18-6, 7.5 left. Big explosion of pace here from Tommy Talau. Over halfway he goes. Darts back in where he's claimed by Buchanan, and he will play it 35 out, 30 in fact out from that southern line. Cherry Evans back on the inside to one of his benchies in Taifa Sipley. 99th game for him. Offloads back to Simkin, and now Brooks. Left-hand side they go. Aaron Shops involved, and it takes 3 Dragons to stop him deep in that far corner of Cogra Jubilee. This is play 4 coming up here for the Seagulls. All the way across now, open side right. Tom Trebojevic skips away from Clemmer. Makes it himself here on the right-hand side. Tonga's hanging on for dear life. The pass came loose. Saab dives on the footy in the in goal, and going with him was Lucho Leilua. LG saying, maybe try. There you go. So, a try for Jason Saab, who breaks a drought there of 4 games against his old side, the Dragons. Scores a peculiar sort of try. The ball came loose with the in goal. I think he sort of envisioned it happening a very different way when he got the footy here at the other end of the ground.
Yeah, well, it's a really nice run here from Tom Trebojevic, and he sees Saab open on the outside. He actually throws the ball back, and it hits the Dragons play and goes forward. And Saab doesn't give up on the play. Here's Tom Trebojevic now on the replay, throws it backwards. Comes off to a Pilotu, and then he keeps chasing his Saab, and he gets the ball down. That's going to be a try.
There you go. So 22-6 kick to come. Manly, 6 minutes left in this first half on ABC Sport and MC on the touchline.
Yeah, great urgency from Jason Saab. Tom Trebojevic is just toying. There's been a couple of times now with this left-hand side Dragons defence, particularly King Tonga. He's loving going and taking the young Dragons half on. He's having a field day.
Oh, is there a bit of separation?
Because he kind of just almost dribbles that ball down.
Oh, I don't know. I reckon I'll give that. I can't. They're going to have to show a different view. The front view here looks like there's separation.
Is there a consistent finger MC on this ball from Jason Saab, please?
Yeah, I think that's a try.
Oh, so 2 different views. Looks like there's one view. Looks like there's something on it the whole time, right there. Looks like his thumb stays on it. No, it's going to take it off.
Okay. So, looks like Jason Saab's try drought will continue.
Cleared all aspects of play until this point.
In the hands of Liam Kennedy in the bunker.
Jason Saab touches the ball. There is now a gap between hand and ball. He is required to re-grip this, which he fails to do so to knock on.
Disallowed try, Jason Saab will go back here with St George Illawarra ball, 20 out from narrow line, 7 tackles set, and it remains 18-6 the way of the Seagulls.
Well, they needed that little bit of luck to go their way of the Dragons, because Manly are toying with them at the moment, making so many easy meters, looking sharp on both sides of the ruck, like I was saying before, and get lucky there. Saab just couldn't get his hand down on it.
Earlier in Canberra, Raiders 24, West Tigers 10. Canberra have secured the minor premiership of 2025, and that top 3 is locked up. So Canberra, Melbourne, Canterbury, and that order will be our final 3, our final order of that finishing 3. Here is now Jaden Stewart, backs his way into the tackle of Navale and also Ben Trebojevic on the halfway line. Cook shares it back here again, and the void of options are now run down out there for the Dragons is Hame Sele, play at 35 out centre field. Like him, King Tongia is cleaned up by Navale. Quick play the ball here. Cook bursts away, 20 out from that Manly line. Back here again to Ray Lua. He goes it across the line, shares it with Flanagan. He needs options. Run down by Brooks and also Shop, and that was the last play. Now it's a changeover. Manly, 25 out from their own line. They lead 18-6. 5.5 left in this first half on ABC Sport, where you're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis, and of course we'll preview Cowboys Broncos up next in Townsville with Quentin Hull, Grant Bell and Laurie Spina. Go around the ground shortly as well. I haven't had a chance yet. Very quick first half this one. As playing it there is Hopewadi for the Seagulls. Over halfway they go through Ben Trebojevic, tackled by Flanagan. Put down there is Burbo, 20 in from the eastern side. Simpkin goes from dummy half himself, gains a quick 17-18, make it 20 as he's 25 out now from Dragons line. A few plays left still in the set now for the Seagulls. 18-6 their lead. Navale, Cherry Evans now back here to Coy Waddell, and wrestling with him there is Leilua and also Damien Cook. Played there by Waddell. Navale first receiver. Brooks bursts away. Good pace. Tom Trebojevic as well on to Aaron Shop up that left-hand side of the field, and he's stopped deep in that southeastern corner of the ground. There'll be a try here soon. Ben Trebojevic tries to go himself from dummy half, but he's heaped back and over the eastern touchline. And of course, the reason Aaron Shop is out there is because Colotau Cola was being assessed a short time ago for the Seagulls. So that's sort of a costly name missing for the time being for Manly Warringah. It'll be a Dragons ball, 10 out from their line, and it remains an 18-6 scoreline in favour of the Seagulls. Been just lost cold there by Matthew Fing. That's a terrible error there for the Dragons. And let's get to MC on the touchline.
Yeah, they put themselves under pressure again, the Dragons. They're going to do well to try and withstand another set.
So, scrum feed will be here. 15 out and 20 in from the western side of Cogra Jubilee. Tries so far to Waddell, Kohler and Cherry Evans for the Seagulls, and Lucken King Tongia capped off a fantastic team try for the Dragons in the 9th minute. 18-6, what our scoreboard says here. Left-hand side of the scrum. Brooks back on the inside now there for Ethan Bullymore. And the ex-Bronco is claimed 10 out. It's a one-on-one still there from Damien Cook. So nice work from the experienced hooker. Dragons back on the attack, Louis.
Yeah, well, a drop ball from the Dragons, and then the very next play, a one-on-one steal from Damien Cook. Gets the ball back for him. They couldn't afford another try against them there, the Dragons. I think the game would have been over, but they're still hanging in there at the moment. One more try before half-time, they'll get a lot of confidence out of it.
They've had just 43% ball in this first half, the Dragons. They go through Clemmer, and he gains a quick 8 metres now, still just shy of his own 40-metre line. Left-hand side they go. King Tongia, Gutherson, feeds it wide. Fingay up that left edge he goes. Was slowed down there by Tommy Talau, and will now play it 35 out from that northern line. As it's Gutherson off to King Tongia. Last play kick. Up it goes for Tom Trebojevic, 10 out from his own line, and he can burst away here before Tuapolonu clobbers him in concert with Cook, and he'll play it there. Will Tommy Turbo, 15 out from his own line, wasting no time. Cherry Evans and trying to get out of their own end here, the Seagulls, this time through their winger Lehigh Hopewadi, 25 out middle of the park. Simpkin, awkward low ball there for Brooks, does well though, tries to break the tackle of Buchanan and also Flanagan. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left here at Cogra Jubilee in the first half. Manly 18, St George Illawarra 6. Shop will play it now, Simpkin. Couple of plays left in this set for the Seagulls. Navale meets his demise, 8 short of halfway. And now Simpkin will fire it across here for Cherry Evans. In bright pink boots, a high spiralling ball. Sets a task for Clint Gutherson. Does it to bounce 2, 3, 4 times, does the Dragons captain and fullback. And now uses some space on that left-hand side of the ground. Inside ball to Tuapolonu. Minute 45 left, Louis. It's still 18-6 Manly's way.
Yeah, well, both sides are sort of just taking their foot off the pedal a little bit at the moment. I think they're looking up at the clock. They know there's only about a minute and a half to go before half-time. But very weird for Clint Gutherson not to get that ball on the full. I reckon he had plenty of time to get there and catch that one.
Couple of carries in this set now for the Dragons. Sloan, and now also involved is Ame Sele. Plays it now to Cook, who again just burst out of dummy half himself before he's tackled on the halfway line here. Dragons on play 4, trail 18-6 at the hands of the Manly Warringah Seagulls. And now again, this time with Ame Sele. Play it 40 out centre field, inside Manly's half. King Tonga, the number 6, up it goes. Tomčebojevic leaps for it uncontested, brings it down. He's brought down a bit of a headlock there from Clint Gutherson, and he'll play it 15 out, 20 in from the western side nearest to us. 45 seconds left in this very quick opening half here at Cogra Jubilee, and the Seagulls are on the attack down there with that man and Tommy Talau. They come 30 out from their own line. Played now by Toff Sipley. They swing it across left-hand side of the field. Brooks inside goal, Tomčebojevic. He breaks one tackle. Over halfway he goes. Off to Cherry Evans. And Cherry Evans also bursts away. To the outside now for Aaron Schopp. And good luck chasing him in the corner. He does score that far side of the ground. And it's Manly against a bit of a Dragons run of play. Score the last points of this first half. 22-6. Kick to come Seagulls as the seconds tick down to half-time, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, nice try here to Manly. And the bloke who scores a try in Aaron Schopp just coming on there for Kohler over on that left edge. But put this down to Tomčebojevic. Just gets the ball on a little cross play and then just uses his speed and strength, bunches through a couple of tackles, and he got about 4 Manly players up against 2 Dragons players. And I thought Cherry Evans was going to go the whole way himself, but he looked outside, seen a quicker man there in Aaron Schopp, and gives him the ball, and he goes over, and that's just too easy for Manly. They're making the Dragons look second rate at the moment.
Back to MC on the touchline.
Yeah, too easy there for Manly. Tomčebojevic is just toying with him at the moment. He just looks like he's on a different level to a number of these Dragons defenders, busting through and just really having a first-class first half from Tomčebojevic.
So the kick here from Cherry Evans will be, it's hard to get an idea of this, 25 metres out from that southern line, metre in from the eastern touchline in front of well, there are a few empty spots on that eastern bank here at Cogra. Cherry Evans so far 3 from 3 this evening to make it a 24-6 halftime scoreline in Manly's favour. Get to your text shortly, 0467 920 222. Go around the grounds quickly, and also we'll preview Cowboys Broncos up next after ABC News. Here's Cherry Evans in potentially his second last game in a Manly jersey. Sideline conversion. No, comes up short and a little wide as well, and it remains Manly 22, St George Illawarra 6. That's because Corey Waddell scored the first try of the game in the 4th minute. Noah Kohler, who's also off injured for the time being, scored the 19th. Cherry Evans in the 21st, and Aaron Schopp just before half-time. And Lycan King Tonga is the Dragons' only try scorer in that first half. Flanagan 1 from 1 for them. Cherry Evans now 3 from 4. 22-6 the half-time score. Louis, your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought Manly have been dominating the Dragons. The Dragons' attitude and defence just isn't there in that first 40 minutes. Manly just running right, coming out their own end so easily. They look sharp on the right, they look very sharp on the left. Tomčebojevic having a big game. Cherry Evans doing a great job with the kicking game, and their energy and their kick chase has been brilliant. That's why the scoreline is what it is. 22 points to 6. Just too good, Manly.
Hasn't been the cleanest game from both sides. So 75% completion for the Seagulls, 68% completion rate in that first half for St George Illawarra. 5 line breaks to 1 though for the Seagulls. Penalty count is 3-1 in Manly's favour, and there were 2-1 ruck infringements in that first half going the way of the Dragons. MC, your thoughts on the touchline?
Yeah, complete domination by Manly in that first half. They're probably unlucky not to lead by more. They bombed a couple of tries, and if things are tracking as they are, maybe it does keep next week alive for Manly's top 8 chances.
Got to win both of their games by a lot in round 26 and round 27. 0467 920 222 is the SMS. Round the grounds quickly. First half, in fact, second half now, NRLW. Roosters 12, Cowboys 0. Second half, Jersey Flegg in New South Wales. Bulldog 32, lead the Dragons 22. New South Wales Cup half time. Canberra 16, lead the Panthers 8. In the women's comp in Queensland, second half, Western Clydesdales 18, Mackay Cutters 16. Queensland Cup scores, 4 of these. Second half, Dolphins 22, lead Mackay Cutters 16. North Devils 20, lead Central Queensland Capras 16. Half time, PNG Hunters 22, leads Northern Pride 4. First half, Tweed Seagulls 12, leads Townsville Blackhawks 4. AFLW third quarter, Port Adelaide 69, leads Gold Coast 20. Earlier, of course, in the NRL, Canberra 24 beat West Tigers 10. That secures their first minor premiership in 35 years. First time since 1990. as they begin their assault on their potential first premiership since 1994. 0467 920 222 is the SMS. Chris from Canberra, who do you think will win the comp this year? Luke Lewis. Raiders won't win it if they play like they did today. Could be wide open. Thanks, Chris. It was a good game, kind of, for West Tigers, as we heard from Jerome Luai post-game. But who's your premiership tip, Louis?
Canberra, Penrith grand final, Canberra win.
Okay, there you go. Hi, Dipsy Doodlers. Great call, guys. We're not helping my Dragons. Sending my prayers to Andrew every day, says Craig from Foster. And Simon in Melbourne says, with the bunker, the ref should not set it up as a try/no try. The bunker should make that ruling. Well, the bunker has to make an assessment based on the on-field referee's call and then affirm that or otherwise. So they do overturn things, but there has to be an on-field call, I think, in some fashion. Go the milk. Hi, grandstand team. I'm home from the Raiders-Tigers game. It was great watching Ricky lift them on a premiership. Shield de Savo, Bob, Cass and Heath from Yass. Go the milk.
But that try with Tom Trbojevic, they had the touch judge said, I seen the ball on the line. I don't get it.
Last one here before news. Hello, ABC family. I just had my son that was born in Manly Hospital moved out of the family home today, and it is a very sad day for me. Go Manly, and I hope Andrew will come back soon from Sharon in Brisbane. And on you, Sharon, nice to hear from you, and keep sending your text 0467 920 222. Manly 22, St George Illawarra 6, and right now it's time for ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Eliza Getzi. Police in northeast Victoria have taken advantage of a break in the weather as they continue their search for 56-year-old Desi Freeman, who's accused of shooting 2 police officers dead at his home earlier in the week. Erin Somerville reports from Paul Punker.
We've really seen some aerial search activities start to ramp up down the Buckland Valley area, just south of Port Punker. We've also seen what appears to be a surveillance type of plane circling above the township at quite a high altitude. Earlier this morning, we also saw some drones take off, but the police here have actually been quite lucky. They've been hampered by really tough conditions with the weather since Tuesday. They've had a bit of a window with some sun and some blue skies today, despite severe weather warnings.
Russia has launched another massive aerial assault on Ukraine after the attack that killed 23 people in the capital, Kyiv. The BBC's Katie Watson has the details.
There was a deadly strike in the southeastern region of Zaporizhia. There were explosions too in cities in neighbouring Dnipropetrovsk, the second successive night that it's been targeted. Earlier this week, Kyiv acknowledged that the situation on the ground is difficult too. Russian forces crossed into Dnipropetrovsk on Monday, the first large-scale attack in a region that's largely avoided intense fighting so far. Dnipropetrovsk isn't one of the 5 Ukrainian regions Moscow has claimed as Russian territory.
Indonesia's President Prabowo Subianto has offered his condolences to the parents of a motorcycle taxi driver who died after being struck by police during protests in the capital, Jakarta. More from Larry Buttrose.
The president's visit came as protests spread to other major cities of Bandung and Yogyakarta, and 3 people died after protesters set fire to a regional parliament building in Makassar, the capital of South Sulawesi province. Protests began in the capital, Jakarta, this week over pay for MPs and other issues, with students at the forefront. It's seen as the greatest challenge yet faced by President Subianto, who succeeded the popular Joko Widodo last year.
The Australian government will pay Nauru $408 million up front as part of a deal to resettle more than 350 non-citizens. Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke and Nauru's President David Adiang signed the Memorandum of Understanding yesterday, with Australia agreeing to pay the Nauruan government to resettle members of the NZYQ cohort. That cohort had been held in indefinite immigration detention in Australia before the High Court ruled the practice to be illegal in 2023. The Australian government has agreed to continue to pay Nauru nearly $70 million a year to cover ongoing resettlement costs. The Queensland Government says it'll act to prevent a pill testing centre reopening in inner-city Brisbane. The now privately funded Checkpoint Clinic was forced to close in April when the government withdrew funding. Acting Premier Jared Blais says the government will enforce its position against all private and public drug checking services.
The government will take whatever action is necessary through regulation or legislation to ensure that there are no privately funded pill testing centres open in Queensland. We do not tolerate it. We will not allow allow it, and we will legislate or regulate against those private providers.
Queensland Police have issued an emergency declaration for a bushfire in the Somerset region, northwest of Brisbane. Emergency services were called to the blaze in Wivenhoe Hill just after 1:30 this afternoon. The exclusion zone covers the Brisbane Valley Highway from Coominya Connection Road up to the Lake Wivenhoe Dam access road. Police have evacuated surrounding homes and campgrounds, and nearly 20 fire crews are working to contain the blaze. And in the NRL, the Canberra Raiders have secured their first minor premiership since 1990. Harry Buttonshaw reports.
The Raiders were encouraged out of the sheds by a Viking clap from a sellout crowd at a sunny Bruce Stadium in Canberra. The West's Tigers started off strongly, but the Raiders showed their class, coming home to win 24-10 and sealing their first minor premiership in 35 years. Coach Ricky Stewart, who was a Canberra player during the Raiders' last minor premiership win, says the club rarely gets the recognition it deserves.
People don't know how good our club is. It's a wonderful club, and this club thoroughly deserves this recognition today.
The Melbourne Storm had the chance to take the minor premiership to the last round of the regular season, but were thrashed by a spirited Sydney Roosters side last night in Melbourne.
You're up to date with all the latest from ABC News. And for more news at any time, you can head to abc.net.au/news or download the ABC Listen app.
Vote for your favourites in ABC Radio National's Top 100 Books of the 21st Century.
Need inspiration? We've got a list.
Voting has opened.
Look for Top 100 on the ABC Radio National homepage.
ABC sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Premiership.
Play 2 now for the Seagulls. Inside ball from Sherry Evans to Corey Waddell, who helps himself with the easiest of tries and improves the angle behind the posts as well. Manly are in first here at Cogra. 4-0 kick to come. Got some shape going left-hand side. Up the edge they go here with being 8. Shows off Terry Evans. On the inside now, King Tongi out. Back now to the fullback Gutherson. And now King Tongi here again. Takes on Brooks. Beats it for speed. Scores a try. Dragons are in. And away they go here up that left-hand side of the field. There's a good burst from Tolatakola. He makes the break. Off over halfway he goes. Darts on the infield now and beats that last line of defence and goes to the score. That was just far too simple there for the Seagulls. Tolatakola with a 70-metre run there for the Seagulls to make it 10-6 kick to come. Tom Trebojevic bursts away. Back there for a nice flick pass from Cherry Evans onto Jason Saab. Back on the inside for his skipper. And DCE goes the rest of the way. That's great finishing from Manly.
Yeah, bad news for the Seagulls. Tolatakola has come from the field. He struggled to regain his feet after almost scoring in that last set. He's gone on the far side of the field. He spent some time with the trainers, but they've made the decision to take him off.
They swing it across left-hand side of the field. Brooks inside goal, Tom Trebojevic. He breaks one tackle. Over halfway he goes. Look at Cherry Evans. And Cherry Evans also bursts away. To the outside now for Aaron Schopp. And good luck chasing him in the corner. He does score that far side of the ground. And it's Manly against a bit of a Dragons run of play. Score the last points of this first half.
ABC sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Premiership.
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And on the ABC Listen app.
22-6 is a scoreline here. Manly lead the Dragons at Jubilee Stadium. Cogra, you're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis. The next game is in Townsville for the Cowboys and the Broncos. Hello, Quentin Hull.
G'day, Spriggy. Gorgeous conditions in the north for a big game for a couple of reasons. But I'm just going to start with an update on the W because I've just seen a really unsavoury incident here. Just an unlucky accidental elbow into the mouth of star Roosters player Isabel Kelly. The unbeaten Chooks are leading this game by 12 points to 0. There's only about 13 minutes left in the game. But it was innocuous. Kelly was just running back on side and was running past a tackle and copped an elbow in the mouth. And then very quickly she realised something was wrong. She was attended to by the trainers, came from the field, and then the trainers are looking around in the grass for what we can only assume was her teeth. We assume that she's knocked out her teeth. And then just beneath us, there was some type of incident in the race where she needed attention quickly. We saw her did she did stand up and walk down the race in the end. But the Roosters have just gone in again, I think. So that's a 16-0 kick to come, 12 and a half minutes to go. But a big story as far as the competition is concerned, with the star Roosters centre Isabel Kelly copping an accidental elbow to the mouth, and we think she's lost a couple of teeth and has had herself literally and figuratively rattled. As far as things are concerned here, well, which way do you want to look at it? The last game of the season for North Queensland, with their 2015 Premiership members all here celebrating the 10-year anniversary of that most memorable grand finals, the Golden Point victory over the Brisbane Broncos. There are two remaining members of that game playing today, Jason Tamalolo for the Cowboys and Ben Hunt for the Broncos. But it's really all about Brisbane trying to get inside the top four, with that door well and truly open now, with the Warriors loss to Parramatta yesterday. Viliami Vailea is not playing for North Queensland. He's got a hamstring injury. So Zach Labert comes into the centres. Kai O'Donnell is onto the bench. Jackson Bowler, the replacement player, the 18th man. While for the Broncos, they're 1-17. Jesse Arthurs is the 18th man, having been dropped for the return of Brendan Piakura. Great to be alongside Grant Bell for the call, Belly. So a bit happening in front of our eyes as we speak. And, gee, it's been interesting to see a few pictures floating around of all the old 2015 lads back in town. Last game for the Cowboys, and they've got something to play for tonight with that pride on the line.
Yeah, they certainly have, and having the inspiration of those guys here, and also I know Jason Tamalolo had a bit of a twinge during the back end of last weekend's game, and there was some concern that he may not play this weekend, but he's managed to work his way through, and one of the big things for him was he was very keen to play in Jordan McLean's last game, and when you talk about things to play for, that was certainly something that was high on Jason's agenda. And similarly, it's also one of their captains playing his 100th game in Ruben Cotter. So, a couple of really important things for the teams to play for. It's going to be a cracking game.
Lots of little angles, but of course, from the competition's perspective, Spriggy, it's all about whether or not the Broncos can make it 3 wins in a row to take 4th spot on the ladder tonight. Ash Klein's the ref, and Chris Butler will be in the bunker, and we'll get more news from Izzy Kelly as it comes through.
Great stuff. Thank you, Q, to Belly, and of course Loz joining them as well on the sideline there in Townsville. So second half here is just seconds away. The Seagulls 22 lead the Dragons 6. And by the way, it's been made apparent to me that some of you throughout parts of Queensland have been breaking away for emergency updates to do with bushfires. You may have heard during the ABC News bulletin just then. So, of course, stay tuned to all of those if you are in affected areas. If you're not in an affected area and you're getting those updates anyway, of course, you can find the footy uninterrupted by the ABC Listen app. But, of course, the ABC is always looking out for you with its emergency broadcast. Second half underway here at Cogra Jubilee. Brought back to the kick-off by Toff Sipley, and he'll play at 20 out centre field. Simpkin across now again for Bullymore, and he runs headlong into a 3-man tackle. In there was Hame Sele, and also in there Damien Cook as well. Vale, a strong run over the 30-metre line here for the Seagulls. Play it now for Simpkin. Short side right here, up that eastern side of the park they go with Waddell, who scored the first try of the game, and he stopped in his tracks, 40 out from his own line by Leilua out there on that left edge defence. Tom Trebojevic has been fantastic in the game so far, and is over the halfway line here for the Seagulls, 5 inside Dragons territory. Last play now for Manly as Brooks puts that high left foot kick cross field, sets a task for Tyrell Sloan. Coming in though, Hopewadi for the Seagulls, still the last as he is tackled now by Buchanan, and it'll be a changeover, 20 out from that northern line here for the Dragons on the attack. Luke Lewis, welcome back to you. 22-6 the score line.
Yeah, 22-6. They've just come back out. It was the first set there from Manly, and they made not too bad a set. Really good kick, great kick chase, and a bit of compete there from Hopewadi. And if he had got that ball free, Manly might have went over. So important that the Dragons start fast. They have to be next to score, and they've got to get a little bit of attitude into their defence.
Here they go, centre field 30 out. Cook finds Clemmer, and now it will be penalty go the Dragons' way as he was taken high, and he's being assessed on field as well. Referee Adam G just blowing time off for the time being. Michael Karianis, welcome back to you from downstairs.
Yeah, just an update on Talatau Cole. He won't be back. It's an MCL injury, so not an ACL. So it'd be 4 to 6 weeks if Manly went deep in this competition, which is unlikely.
So season ending, you might say, for Talatau Cole, with that season ending next week anyway. Thank you, MC. As he's called out, Adam G's just called out Cherry Evans.
Moderate force, and the way he comes in is high risk of injury. It's on report to sin bin.
Wow, so Tom Sipley is going to the bin. So it looked innocuous to naked eye, Louis. That high shot there of the Dragons, but Taufapola Sipley will go for 10.
Yeah, well, we just heard Adam G there. It was high. It had a moderate force in the contact, and it gets direct contact to Clemmer's head. So that's why you will get 10 in the bin. The Dragons have got to make Manly pay. They can't even get the ball out in the full. He's Manly back with the ball.
Come back here with Tom Trbojevic. So the Seagulls keep it alive here up that eastern side of the ground, and Turbo Tom is tackled 25, make it 35 out from his own line here on that far side of the ground. Come on, get some play going over here in front of us. Navale gains 10 more metres now. And Fiji International play it 8 metres short of halfway. Willie Moore put on his back in the tackle there of Cook. Played to Simpkin. Off to Cherry Evans. Wrap around ball here, back for Corey Waddell. And Waddell hits the deck. 40 out from Dragons line, 20 in from that far side of the ground. No change to our halftime score. 2.5 minutes in here at Cobra Jubilee. Brooks to Trbojevic, and he's run down by Buchanan. And he'll play it here, the Manly fullback, 35 out. Brooks, open side right for Cherry Evans. Puts up that high kick. Gutherson calls for it now. In fact, it bounces there on that. It's sort of held up there in the breeze. It's come back here
on the 40, boys.
as it was knocked on there by the Sea Eagles. It will be a Dragons ball, 20 out from their own line, Louis.
Yeah, it was Luke Brooks. He goes up to goes up for the catch there, and it just touches his fingers. But lucky there again for the Dragons. They flicked the ball over to that right side, and it was a 2-on-1 with Saab, and he had about 20 metres to move. So it would have been interesting to see how it panned out.
Clean Perry Hills here for Tyrell Sloan, but he's stopped there by Aaron Shop. He scored that try before half-time for the Sea Eagles. Dragons use it through centre field. Hame Sele put down 7 short of halfway. 4.5 played in this opening, or not opening, but second half here on ABC Sport. Clemmer, Flanagan on here again to Jaden Sewer, and he's on the halfway line before being tackled by Ben Trbojevic. Play it now for Cook. Flat ball from dummy half for Clemmer. Lycan King Tong out. Leilua, Gutherson bursting away. Fing runs into Tom Trbojevic and stop there alongside Cherry Evans. He'll play it 30 out up against that eastern touchline. Last play, Dragons. Kick from King Tonga. Up it goes. And this time bringing it down, Tommy Talau will play it 20 out from his own line, 20 in from that eastern side of the ground. 4 gone, second half. Manly 22, St George Illawarra 6 here on ABC Sport.
Now, this handling them pretty well at the moment, Manly, even though they're down a player. It's doing a good job out wide. Tom Trbojevic everywhere. Everyone's just sticking their hand up, doing that little bit extra at the moment.
MC said a short time ago, Talatau Cole with an MCL, so a knee injury on the minor scale, of course, which would mean season over anyway, given the only the short time left. Simpkin, open side left here. Brooks, back on the inside. Ben Trbojevic was among their try scorers last week, and he's untouched until he gets to the halfway line, and now claim meter inside Dragons territory. Rolled back there for Simpkin. Short side right they go. Running kick from Cherry Evans, and it bounces out for touch. 5 metres out from that corner post on the eastern side of the ground, and it will be a Dragons ball, 10 out from their own line, northern end. Just on top of Sibley, who's been sin binned, and there's still 6.5 minutes left of that sin bin. It's his 99th game today, Louis. So due for his 100th next week. He's off to England next year, so Sibley to play for Warrington. The Sam Burgess coached Warrington, so might miss out on a milestone if he gets suspended after that earlier high shot a short time ago in the last game for the Seagulls. Dragons on the attack. It's come back to Jaden Sewer, and he makes a probing run here up to the 40, and he stands in the tackle of Simpkin. I'll play it now off to little dummy half, Chiupolotto. Thought he saw a gap there, but it closes quickly. Waddell and Navale sandwich him. Now played a little, 5 inside Manly territory. This is the second last play coming up here for the St George Illawarra Dragons. Cook back now again to Pacifici Tonga. He's a tall and dominant-looking figure here as he's tackled 30 out centre field. Come back Flanagan. King Tonga. He stabs it toward the corner there for Tom Trebojevic, who gathers. He wrong foots one. Still going turbo Tom. Takes on Flanagan. Flanagan gets him, but he's 35 out from that southern line. So a good run there to start the set for Tom Trebojevic. It remains Manly 22, St George Illawarra 6. Through hands it comes right to left. Out some space is Hopewadi. It's a low ball there here again for Aaron. Shot back. Was it forward? No. Home crowd thought so. Shot still going. 25 out western side. We'll play it there for Hopewadi. This is play 3 here for the St George, for the Manly Warringah Seagulls. Brooks to Cherry Evans, and now again to Tommy Talau. Can they get it going through Waddell, who's cut down 22 out from that northern line, right-hand side of the post. Tommy Talau from dummy half. He gains a quick 15 metres, 7 out now, attacking St George Illawarra's line, northern end. Away it comes, back to Navale, and now Brooks. He darts back to the right-hand side. Puts in a kick, fielded there by Pacifici Tonga, and the Dragons get the footy back, Louis, but they trail 22-6. No change to our half-time score, 7 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, I reckon Luke Brooks was wanting time over again there. That was a horrible little kick. I can understand what he was thinking. He had a player calling for it. He just had to get the kick right, and I think it sort of slipped off his boot and just didn't get any power on it. So, terrible kick, but they're doing a good job, Manly. With one play down, making easy meters.
So, Tupalotu, play at 30 out. Gutherson on in turn here to Leilua, and he spins in the tackle there at Bullymore. Play it now for Little. Cook on to Flanagan, and now it's wide here, Buchanan. Off at some space is Tyrell Sloan. He kicks up that western side. Bouncing there, Buchanan. It's beaten by Tom Trebojevic. Picked up though by the Dragons, and is there a grounding from Jacob Little, who scores a try? Wow! So quick thinking on that run from Tyrell Sloan. The ball bounced into the in-goal area, and Jacob Little is the beneficiary. Scores the try for the Dragons. They hit back, and didn't they need that, Louis? It's Manly 22, Dragons 10. Kick to come to George Illawarra, 8 gone second half.
Yeah, they definitely needed that. There wasn't a whole lot doing. It was just a little shift over to the right edge, and then Flanagan gets the ball, throws a little bit of a dipsy-doodle pass, and then a quick little tip on over to Sloan. And he's got good speed, and he just comes up with a really nice kick. He gets a bit of an ugly bounce there, Tom Trebojevic, and then a really good pick up there, though, from Little. He falls over, gets down on one knee, one hand, gets back up, and all he has to do is just make a couple of steps, and he goes over the try line and scores a good try. Keeps the Dragons in this game while Manly are down one player.
And so the touchline.
Yeah, well, the Dragons have struggled with the football, but they've scored some 2 really nice tries. One in the first half now. Jacob Little, beautiful pick up at speed and put down there.
Hang on. Did he get that down? No, was that short? Sorry for cutting you off, Group.
That's all right. The replay sort of, the Jacob Little sort of montage cut us off as well, but they haven't officially given this yet. I think it might just be confirmed now.
Okay, thank you, Michael Carianis. We'll see the kick from Flanagan, 20 out and 10 in from the western side to make it 22-12. There's still 2.5 minutes of that Taufafoa simply sin bin remaining. Feels like late in the day. I was up at 6 bells this morning in Melbourne, catching a flight back to deal with Luke Lewis and Michael Carianis all day. Actually haven't been so bad today, these guys.
I mean, make it sound like it's hard.
It is sometimes, but today's been pretty good, I must admit. Anyway, into the second half here, well and truly. Kyle Flanagan, it's a 45-degree angle right-hand side of the sticks. And he's 1 from 1 so far tonight. Important kick in the context of the game here. Manly still have that sin bin, 2.5 minutes left, and indeed they've lost Politaukola as well. Kick starts right, comes back in the breeze, and it's over and in. So, Dragons 12, Manly 22. We've played now 10 minutes in this second half on ABC Sport. Doug in Rimula has sent us a bit more information about the bushfires. Says, this is Australia, thanks for the call. Yeah, thank you, Doug, for all that. And I've mentioned that our listeners through parts of Queensland getting emergency bushfire updates. I must admit, and we've dealt with all kinds of natural disasters in Australia, and God forbid that it's anything serious and that people are, hopefully everyone's okay and there's no property or lives under threat there. But there's something about bushfire updates which feel like summer, like weirdly enough. So it tells you that the hot weather's on the way as well, but everyone stay safe if you are in those affected areas. 22-12 here at Cogra Jubilee. Cherry Evans will kick The kick-off here, bounce to Flanagan, back to Jack de Bellin, and he's collected by Ben Trebojevic and also Caleb Navale. 20 out from that northern line. Little, open side left, onto Hame Sele, and again a three-man tackle. 30 out northern line here for the Dragons on the attack. Little, the try scorer, on here again to Leilua. And he makes a 10-metre run here up that left-hand side of the field. Little swings it across, open side right now. Cook and Flanagan. Back now to Buchanan, who debuted here a few weeks ago against the Sharks. A game they won, the Dragons. A weekend they re-signed Shane Flanagan. Little goes from dummy half himself and then stopped by Corey Waddell. 5 inside Seagulls territory. 22 points to 12 is the scoreline here in Manly's favour. Dragons have some momentum though, Louis. Minute left of that Symbian of Taufafala Sipley. Last play kick from King Tongi goes up and Jason Saar will bring it away here. Start a new set for the Seagulls. 20 out, 20 in from the eastern side. So, again, Tommy Talau only gains a few metres here now for the Seagulls. Dummy half, Cherry Evans. And then hit at speed by Lehigh Hopewadi in a three-man tackle. Platt, 35 out from his own line, southern end. And coming in hard on a barnstorming run was Aaron Schopp. Played to Simkin. Off to Tom Trebojevic. Almost like 10 pins. He cleaned up King Tongia and also out there Leilua. Plays it now though. Kick from Cherry Evans' last play. Will bounce into the path of Gutherson. Of course, began his career at the Seagulls, Gutherson. And he's cut down there by DCE and also Navale. 15 out from his own line, northern end of Cogra Jubilee. Dragons on the attack here, play 2. Manly leads 22 points to 12 here on ABC Sport. You're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis, and now slipping away Buchanan, but he is collected down there by Schopp, and the third gamer will play it now. It's come off to Jaden Sewer. Back from a knee injury this week, Jaden Sewer. He's tackled just shy of the 40-metre line. Little, off to de Bellin. Engineers the pass left outside King Tonga. Over the top it goes here to Tuipulotu. And he's still going up that left-hand side. Shrugs away one. He's a strong figure, Tuipulotu. Pass comes loose there at the back towards King Tonga. And now de Bellin. Left to right they move it. Buchanan, he goes on the toe. Chasing it through Sloan. He might beat Brooks. No, Brooks gets there first. Was it knocked on by Brooks? Yes, back here for the Dragons. 6 more St George Illawarra. So a full set, 9 out from that southern line. Dummy half, it's come from Little, off to King Tonga. They spread back in their defence. Gutherson, lateral pass across to Tuipulotu, who scores a try. Sliding in that far corner again. And the Dragons make it back-to-back tries to start the second half. 22-16, kick to come Dragons. They may cut this Manly lead back to 4 points very soon, Luke Lewis on ABC Sport.
Yeah, well, it's funny what one try does, isn't it? And Jacob Little's try definitely gave the Dragons a little bit of momentum and a nice little bit of footy here over on that right side from the Dragons. Put a beautiful little kick downfield. Good chase there from Sloan. Brooks couldn't pick the ball up with that kind of speed, but a really nice quick shift straight over to that left edge. Some really nice passes out in front, but the pass from Gutherson over the top, it wasn't the prettiest. And you got Christian Tuipulotu has to get down low, get a nice pick up, but he's got a clean run to the try line, and he scores a great try. 22-16, kick to come. 27 and a half minutes left on the clock.
That's line, Michael Carianis.
Yeah, that was an outstanding pick up from Christian Tuipulotu. Spriggy, you mentioned a couple of moments ago how strong he is with ball in hand. He just looks like a guy that's still not at full fitness. He's had that run of hamstring injuries this year, and he still looks like he's a bit tentative on it because, as you said a couple of moments ago, when he's running freely, he looks so damaging, and we've only seen a couple of instances of that in the last few weeks.
Okay, thank you, MC. 14 gone second half here at Cogra. Manly lead 22-16, but Louis, yes?
No, I was just going to say, do you know how often I come here to Cogra? We call the game. Yeah. Every little bit of play is right up in that same corner every time I'm here.
Phil Mudgee actually said, asked us to clarify, what was the sin bin? Was that for a high shot or a cannonball?
Carianis would know that.
I thought it was high, wasn't it, MC? What was it?
I was getting a collar update, boys, so I missed
look
it.
at that. I thought he had said it was high. That's why he binned him.
Yeah, well, he said medium force. That's right. Yeah. Medium force to the head.
Anyway, I've got to look this up. But you can't see a lot of things from this little ABC Sport box here at Cogra. Flanagan will kick 25 out, metre or so in from the eastern side. He's 2 from 2 so far. This to cut the Manly lead back to 4 points. It's also back to 13 on 13. So the sin bin has expired. Right foot kick, Flanagan. Good looking kick off the tee. 22-18. The Seagulls still lead, but the Saints, as the song says, are coming. 0467920222. It has gone, by the way, Dennis on the South Coast letting us know, has gone full-time, was it still second half in Townsville, NRLW, Roosters 30, Cowboys 0, and as Q mentioned, Isabel Kelly had her teeth knocked out in that second half a short time ago. New South Wales Cup second half, Raiders 28, Panthers 8. First half, Bulldogs 6, Dragons 0. It's just gone full-time there at the NRLW in Townsville. Of course, the men's game coming up shortly, Cowboys Broncos with Quentin Hull on the team. Queensland Cup full-time, Redcliffe 34, Mackay Cutters 16. Full-time, North Devils 36, Central Queensland Capras 16. Second half, PNG Hunters 28 lead Northern Pride 4. Half-time, Tweed Seagulls 18, Townsville Blackhawks 4. And in the AFLW fourth quarter, Port Adelaide leads Gold Coast by a total of 59 points. We'll take you across to, or up to Townsville with the Cowboys Broncos game. Once we're done here, here's a run up left-hand side from Fiinge for the Dragons. Played there now to Little, feeds it across to the try scorer in Tuapolotu, and he's put down 40 out from his own line, I should say, 12 shy of halfway to Bellin, Flanagan, and now Jaden Sewer is stopped by Ben Trebojevic, 7 short of halfway. Little comes to this short side now. Flanagan, end of the set. His kick just pierces the night sky. Comes down to the chest of Tom Trebojevic, and the Seagulls keep a slender 4-point lead here, which won't help their for and against and their already fanciful chances of finishing in the top 8. Brooks, a very low ball here for Hopewadi, and he can burst away on play 2. Stop 6 short of halfway here now for the Seagulls. Simpkin on to Taifafawa Sipley, so he skips into that defensive wall where Little and also Leilua stop him. 40 out, 20 in from the eastern side. Sherry Evans, another short ball to his right on the outside there for Corey Waddell, and the game's first try scorer is tackled 25 out from that northern side. Sherry Evans, Sabunga's back in the action. Now Brooks, they shape it left-hand side. Tom Trebojevic, good tackle it was down there from Buchanan to slow down Turbo Tom. It's last play Seagulls, 22 points to 18 their lead. Last play kick from Sherry Evans, up it goes. Gutherson will launch, this time bring it down, and play it out from his own line. And off a new set from there, St George Illawarra, despite trailing by those 4 points. That's the margin. 16 gone, 24 left. Second half, Luke Lewis and ABC Sport.
I like that set from Manly, but where they shift the ball, especially coming out of their own end, they just look dangerous when they do it. And when they didn't have their, when Taifafawa simply went off, they went away from it. And that's what sort of let the Dragons back in to this game. They give them a lot of possession. They run a little bit harder, and they're doing a good job, the Dragons.
There's a hard run, speaking of which, from Tuapolotu. Plays it now to Bellin. On here, Hame Sele, both back in the action this week for the Dragons, having suffered head knocks a fortnight ago. Little, just behind the halfway line. Last play for St George Illawarra, and Lycan King Tongi just punts it down towards that far corner, my favourite corner of Cogra Jubilee Stadium. Saab will bring it back there into a throng of St George Illawarra defenders, and he'll play it there. Fiinge playing marker. Saab now off to Cherry Evans. Open side left to Tommy Talau. On a jinking run before he's stopped by Simpkin, 20 out. 23 left in the game here on ABC Sport. Manly 22. The Dragons have scored back-to-back tries to start this second half to close the gap to 4 points. 22 points to 18. Simply play it now on halfway. Simpkin involved. Now Cherry Evans, he directs traffic with his left hand. Offloads back here for Tommy Talau. On a straightening run here. Thought he saw a gap, which closed quickly. Offloads back to Simpkin. And now Brooks, Ben Trebojevic. He makes half a break as well. Run down from behind there, though, in the end by Hame Sele. Second last play. Simply on the end of Tabanga's pass has stopped 9 out centre field. This is last play Manly. Simpkin across here, Cherry Evans. And now darting in to score a second try for Corey Waddell. So Manly hits back A try they so desperately needed here, the Seagulls. 26-18, kick to come Manly. 18 gone, 22 left in this second half. Luke Lewis on ABC Sport.
Yeah, well, the last two sets Manly have had, they're shifted to the edge, coming out of their own end. They make so many easy meters, and they look dangerous. A couple of guys just punch into some really good holes, and then Daly Cherry Evans steps up again and comes up with a beautiful little short pass here on the right side, goes into the line, looks like he's going to play out the back, plays nice and short, good change of direction while the ball's in the air there from Corey Waddell, comes off that right foot and goes under the post. That is just too easy there for Manly, and again, poor defence from the Dragons.
Only scored 2 tries from his 20 games, or 21 games now, before this afternoon. Waddell, he's now scored 2 in the game. MC back down to you on the touchline.
Yeah, that left edge was badly exposed to the Dragons in that first half, and again now for Manly's first try of this second half, they get their spacing and their timing all wrong, and an easy try once again for Corey Waddell.
Cherry Evans is directly in front here, 10 metres out, having kicked 3 from 4 so far this evening. We began the day in some bright sunshine. Now it's well until the night time here in Sydney's southern suburbs, and he makes no mistake there, DCE from directly in front, so 4 from 5, and the score is Manly Warringah 28, St George Illawarra 18. 0467920222. Hey fellas, it's Harry here from Juniella Mine. Going to give a shout out to my mate Greenie at Cavill Ridge Mine. He's a massive Dragons fan and is getting excited. 3 nights to go, Greenie, then we can have a few beers up the Dragons. Great stuff, Harry and Greenie. Hi team, Christopher from Mudgee, hoping for another Sea Eagles win, just to have a good finish to a topsy-turvy season. Thanks. Alan from Long Jetty, well done to Ricky and the Raiders in the minor premiership. Also wishing Andrew a speedy recovery. And Mad Keen Manly supporter, enjoying the call after watching Albion Park Eagles beat Berry Magpies on my way to Queensland, says Mark in Mystery Bay. There was also a Raiders fan driving back from driving back home to Wagga Wagga from the Canberra game earlier, in which the Raiders did lock up the minor premiership for the first time in 35 years, and they will finish top in this NRL season, so a nice achievement there for the Raiders. As this time, it's Alpha Sipley is getting up, and now this is a cannonball, I think, which Adam G has deemed to have happened with Jack de Bellin.
It's a hip
drop, actually, yeah. So he gets in from behind and puts his weight there in the tackle, and he just bends back awkwardly there to Alpha Sipley. So, time off for the time being. On report, Jack de Bellin for dangerous contact for the hip drop, Louis.
Yeah, it was definitely a hip drop. He gets from behind of the Alpha Sipley and he drops his hip straight to the ground, lands on the back of the ankle. I think it just makes Alpha Sipley's knee a little bit feel a bit funny as he limped off, but a penalty there now for Manly. Going to kick upfield, and they're going to be hard to keep out here, I reckon. I really feel like they've slowly wrestled this momentum back.
Halfway through the second half, you're on ABC Sport and MC on the touchline.
Yeah, strange kick that from Manly, considering they got a strong breeze behind their back, and I think Jack de Bellin was probably lucky to stay on the field there. We saw obviously Sipley sin bin earlier in this second half, but yeah, I think he was lucky to stay on.
And there is Sipley, over halfway he goes, and he's stopped there by 3 Dragons on that 40-metre line now, defending their own end. Seagulls inside Dragons territory. Brooks on to Ben Trebojevic, looks to break the tackle of Flanagan, but coming in to reinforce in defence is Jaden Sewer. 25 out, 20 in Western touch. Simpkin across to Tavunga, and now Brooks, Cherry Evans, darts on the inside. Cook spins him around, back to Simpkin. It's his play 4 here for the Seagulls, and that came forward a fair old way for the Sea Eagles. Possession back to the Dragons, 20 out from their own line, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, Jazz Tavunga just as he got the ball, he just couldn't help himself. He knew he wanted to pass it, and then his mate, Takiaho, just pushes up and gets himself offside a little bit, but he knew straight away, Jazz Tavunga. As soon as he passed it, he slapped himself in the head and goes, what was I thinking? But sometimes you just can't help yourself. You know it's the wrong thing to do, but it's already come out of your hand before you... It's just unlucky there for Manly.
Coming up, Queensland Derby in Townsville. Cowboys Broncos, of course. The Cowboys to finish their season and celebrating that premiership from 2015 against that same opponent. So all the colour of that to come your way with Quentin Hull, Grant Bell and Laurie Spina here on ABC Sports. Phil Pelotto will play it there, little off to DeBellin, and now as well here for the Dragons, getting up to play it now is the back rower Jaden Sewer. Little fires it left-hand side. Cook at first receiver, and now King Tongia up that left edge they go again, and trying to get some run going through Fiinge. He'll play it, a few minutes short of the halfway. Involved here again is Leilua. Pops it back here into the path of a teammate. It's DeBellin, now Flanagan on their second last run here. It's come wide to Tyrell Sloan right edge, but two Seagulls are in there, Shop and also Hopewadi. Last play Dragons, 48 for Manly's line, and they trail by 10 points. That's the Seagulls lead. Last play kick, high down there for Tom Trebojevic, and he'll take it 15 out from his own line at Southern. And Luke Lewis, it remains, Manly 28, St George Illawarra 18, with 18 minutes left in this game on ABC Sport.
Yeah, we're sort of just going through a bit of a period now where both sides are just getting through their sets up and down the field, making pretty easy meters. It's going to come down to a penalty or an error in field position just to give... There we go. That's the penalty I'm talking about. And right on cue. Thanks, Adam G. And I'll kick up field and then, again, put some pressure back on this Dragons defence.
Get the MC on the touchline.
I'm saying he's on the ground when you get it as well, Damien.
Yeah, so Damien Cook is peeling for a one-on-one there, and he thought the players had fallen off, but Adam G was saying, well, yeah, that was tight, but I'm also saying that the tackle was completed when you stripped the ball. I don't know about that last bit, but yeah, it was touch and go to see if there was more than one tackled player on as Damien Cook stripped the ball.
Penalty count 5-2 going Manly's way, and also 2-1 ruck infringements going the Dragons' way, with a player each on report. Of course, Toff Sipley did serve some time in the sin bin. Here he is at a run over halfway for the Manly Warringah Sea Eagles, and Jack DeBellin placed on report for a hip drop a short time ago. Brooks back on the inside now for Shop, and he's tackled 8 metres inside St George Illawarra territory. That's why they come midway through the set to Vunga, onto Cherry Evans, two-time trial scorer Waddell. Good post-contact run here down that right-hand side. 4 Dragons stop him, and he'll play it the other back rower. Picked off now by Jake Simpkin at dummy half. Dummies right, left, almost gets there himself. He's 7 metres shy, and the tackle of DeBellin and also Cook, right-hand side of the uprights. Last play Manly, they come to the short side with a kick, and now it's chased and now battered dead by Clint Gutherson for a line dropout. So it remains the Sea Eagles 28, the Dragons 18. 16 and a half left in this second half at Jubilee Stadium, Cogra. Back to MC on the touchline.
Yeah, Corey Dell was eyeing a treble there off the back of a Daly Cherry Evans grubber, but I think Gutherson did well just to shut that down. But yeah, the intensity's gone out of the Dragons after a second half fight back.
Short drop out here taken by Gutherson. Goes about 13 metres, leaping up Tom Trebojevic. So a full set now for the Seagulls. 13 out, right-hand side of the sticks. Simpkin, open side left, Cherry Evans. Has Brooks running by as well. Faster is Ben Trebojevic. Takes it within 8 metres now, left-hand side of the uprights. This is only play 2 now for the Seagulls. Play to Shop. Open side right. Brooks inside Taifafoa. Sipley. Can they ice the game here, the visitors? He's wrapped up by DeBellin. 5 out centre field. Simpkin now goes back to Cherry Evans. Swings it all the way back now to Tavunga. He pops it back, the offload to Takiyaho. He has a jinking run here where he's on the wrong side of DeBellin, but DeBellin comes in with Gutherson to stop him. 3 out, right-hand side of the sticks. It's come now Simpkin to Cherry Evans, and now Tommy Talau goes in to ground the ball and score a try for Manly. Back-to-back tries now for the Seagulls, and with that it's now 32-18, and the game looks beyond the home side St George Illawarra.
And once again, Daly Cherry Evans steps up, comes up with a really nice short side play. Pretty simple. I thought it might have been Corey Waddell going over again, but this left-hand defence for the Dragons just soft, but beautiful work there from Daly Cherry Evans. Looks like he's going to play long, play short. Really good footwork once again here from Tommy Talau this time though, but just change in direction when the ball's in the air. It's very hard to do and make it look easy, this Manly side, and just made King Tongia look absolutely second rate. That is beautiful work there from Tommy Talau.
Down to MC on the touchline.
Again, it's that left-hand side of that Dragons defensive unit. They've just got their timing and spacing all wrong. Young, like King Tongia, he struggled defensively at times in the NRL, and again tonight he's just struggling and not getting much support from his outside men.
We'll get to your text shortly as well, as Sea Eagles, the Sea Eagles through Daly Cherry Evans will line up this kick, and Cherry Evans is 18 metres out from that northern touchline and 19 in from the eastern side. It's a bit simpler here, seeing how it all takes place in our preferred half of the ground. This to be 34-18. Cherry Evans so far 5 from 6. And over it goes there for the Sea Eagles. So 34-18 the scoreline, 13:45 left in this game of footy here on ABC Sport. You're with Brett Sprigg, Luke Lewis, Michael Carianis. Greetings from Madrid, Spain, listening to the Sea Eagles wrap up a win. Come on, the Eagles, from George, could be Jorge. P.S. Great commentary. Hey, fellas, I mentioned Harry's text before for Greenie, which is fantastic. It's a dilemma, says one correspondent. I can't support the Dragons anymore, but the Sea Eagles are worse. Just as well the Dragons took the decision out of my hands, says Steve from Western Sydney, Steve P. Kick off here, a short one taken by the Dragons, and Gutherson batted back here by Tuipulotu. Loose ball dived on that far edge by Jacob Little. He'll roll it back here. King Tongia off to Halangahu. Jacob Halangahu, who had his 19th birthday during the week. Oh, to be 19 again, Louis. Play at 40 out here from Manly's line. The Dragons with Cook, and now to Gutherson. He's 40 out centre field. Tackled by Brooks. Play it now for Little. Off now to Cook, and now Jaden Sewer takes some pace out of the game here. 30 out, 20 in from the western side. 13 and a half left in the game. Little swings the pass left-hand side to Bellin. Now Damien Cook, and in a two-man tackle featuring Simpson and also Taufafoa Sipley. 25 out centre field. Flanagan back on the inside to Buchanan, and he's collected. 25 out right-hand side of the post. To Bellin, on here to King Tongia, and a big barnstorming run this time from Halangahu. He's got 5 shy of that Manly line. Last play, Dragons. Little to Bellin, Flanagan, and now Sewer swings it across right-hand side. Tyrell Sloan shapes to kick, goes long, overhead pass back to Gutherson, goes off the outside of it with a kick to that corner. Saab guarding it now. Fiinga couldn't quite keep it alive, and that means the grounding Tuipulotu is in vain because it was knocked on by the Dragons. Manly 34, the Dragons 18. Now with game clock's just died, but there's about 11 minutes left, Luke Lewis.
I've got a funny feeling they're getting the challenge here.
Okay, Liam.
There we go. Yeah, we'll listen up.
Manly challenging. On-field ruling, as the ball bounced up, I believe it hits Saab's arm into the Manly player, so double knock on.
Double knock on, that's what he said early. But they're challenging it here, Manly. Saab must have thought he didn't touch it. He could be getting caught a liar in a couple of seconds. And
the ball hits Jason Saab's right arm and is knocked on into the Dragons player.
Yeah, but
the Dragons player then knocks the ball on as well. This is a double knock on. The captain's challenge is unsuccessful.
There we go. Terry in Perth, good call, guys. The Cowboys go to Mad Monday after this week, as they have the bye next week.
Yes.
As soon as possible, right? When you're out, you're out. And Phil said he said he thought there was a report there made on Luke Brooks. There wasn't, Phil, as far as I can tell. But thank you for your text anyway. But Taufafoa Sipley and Jack DeBellin have been posted a report for separate incidents in this game so far. 34-18 Manly's lead, and now it's...
early, and Daly, you go early as well.
Thank you, Osher, explaining what's happened there. So a penalty going the Dragons' way. And they'll have it 10 out from Manly's line at southern end. Down to MC on the touchline.
Yeah, let's see what the Dragons see what they can do here. They're looking to go left. Obviously, Christian Tuipulotu's had a couple of nice touches on that far side, but yeah, the energy is really zapped out of this place at the moment.
Yes, it feels that way. It feels that way up here as well. Left-hand side of the scrum to go, King Tongia off here to that run from Tuipulotu, and he's slammed down there. 5 out, left-hand side of the post here for the Dragons. Can they score a consolation try? Flanagan on to King Tongia, in close. Now Gutherson was tackled out the the ball down there by Shop. Play continues meanwhile, and it's still now with that man in Buchanan who will play it. 12 out from that Manly Warringah line. Now to Bellin, play it centre field. Little, back now for Flanagan. Couple of plays left here in the set. Strong tackle in there, Ben Trebojevic, and also Simpkin this time on Emre Gula. Now King Tong out, back to the right-hand side they go. Sewer, here the clash of bodies in the effects might bear here. Right-hand side of the post, hand in the air for FMG. Last play, Dragons who trail 34 points to 18. Through hands it comes centre field. Flanagan, King Tonga, left-hand side, Tupalotu. He takes on their Age defence. That'll be it. Change over. Manly possession again from that far south-eastern corner, and they lead 34-18. Luke Lewis with
who knows?
About 8 minutes left.
Yeah, I was trying to find the clock, but it's disappeared. But Manly had to dig deep. I find it weird though. Manly's defence, they come up and in so far. The Dragons have always got a 2 or a 3-man overlap on the edges. They just can't get the ball there. So either Manly are doing a great job, or the Dragons just aren't getting their attack right. They've got to hang back maybe 3 or 4 metres to get those passes out to the men that need the ball.
Come on, Manly. Matt, Georgie, Kingswood. Thank you for your text. 0467920222. In lieu of a game clock, I'll read more text messages. Simpkin back here to Takiyaho. And if you're listening, actually, send us the game clock on the SMS line. We'll be a bit late, but that's okay. It'll help us. Sherry Evans off here to Coy Waddell, and he scored 2 tries, one in either half of the game here for the Sea Eagles. Simpkin at dummy half. Across now for Brooks. And puts in a hole. There's a pitch invader out there. Oh, this is just stupid. He's running right into the play here. This is absolutely the most stupid display I've ever seen from anybody. He's running into the play as the ball was in the air, and it's taken 5 security guards to chase him down on that far side of the ground. He ran straight into the field of play as the ball was in the air, and that was very, very dangerous. I think I saw Cherry Evans put out the boot and try and trip him up, but that's just some absolute idiot in a grey tracksuit who's run onto the field in the middle of play.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. He dead set could have just... One of those boys had to hit him when they were going up looking for that ball. He'd probably be going in an ambulance.
Why the hell would you do that? Like, what could possess you to do something so stupid? MC down here on the touchline.
I don't have the answers to that, Spriggan, but you're right. DC did attempt a trip, and he avoided that, but he's over the grandstand now to be out of the ground.
$5.5 grand and the rest. That's just stupid from that man. Seriously. Dragons on the attack, 20 out here. Manly lead 34 points to 18. And then they go up that left-hand side of the field. On here too, Helen Gahu, tackled now just shy of the 40. The burst from dummy half there from Jacob Little. Offloads back here to King Tonga, and he was ankle tapped by Jazz Tavanga. 40 out, 20 in from the eastern side. Open side right, they come Dragons. Midway through this set to Bellin, Sewer, and now Cutlass and wide to Sloan. He kicks infield now onto the chest there of Tom Trebojevic, who's 10 out from his own line, and Manly will go again from there. But they have the game in their keeping, 34 points to 18 with, I don't know, some time left in the game, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look on the NRL app there to see what the time is left on the clock. It's saying 10 minutes, which it isn't. But really good work there from Tom Trebojevic. Once again, he's been brilliant in attack, but really good in defence in that occasion. Gets himself in a good position to get that ball and stop a try there for the Dragons.
Played here, 20 out centre field. Simpkin across now to Caleb Navale, the Fijian international, and has claimed 30 out from his own line. Simpkin across here to Jazz Tavanga, and good chase and tackle in there from Jack de Bellin. The ex-Warrior Tavanga will play it there, Simpkin. Kick from Brooks on the last play, was beyond the 40-metre line, and it bounces down there for Finn Gutherson. Up that right-hand side of the field, stopped by Ben Trebojevic, and about 8 minutes left in the game here, I reckon, if not less. Open side left, they come here. The Dragons back on the attack. 34 points to 18 is Manly's lead. Tupalotu is run down there by Waddell and also Tommy Talau. Waddell has scored 2 tries in this game. Tommy Talau has scored 1. Dragons, Little on here. Emre Gawler and now Gutherson. Back to that right edge for Tyrell Sloan. Over halfway he goes. And ripped to the turf down there by Luke Brooks. Dummy half Buchanan. On play 4 here now for St George Illawarra. Sewer shoves away Brooks. Buchanan still going here. The young Gerringong Lion will play it 35 out from that Manly line. Last play Dragons. Kick goes up from Flanagan. They'll all chase it through towards that far southeastern corner, but Saab reaches up in the night sky and pulls it down for the Seagulls, who keep a 34-18 lead here in these final minutes of this game at Jubilee Stadium, Cogra. Get the MC on the touchline.
Yeah, I don't know how long left in this game, Spriggy, but it's almost done for, and the Seagulls, they just haven't been able to win by as much as they want. I think we're inside the next, 5 or 6 minutes remaining in this game.
How did they do it before they had clocks at games? Like, they just sort of, you just kind of, if you're a spectator, I mean, of course the refs know how long there is to go. How is it usually done?
You're asking me?
I don't know.
We used to wear watches out there.
Used to, shut up. Here they go on the attack here, the Seagulls. Simpkin across there to Cherry Evans, kicks him in front of the 40-metre line. It'll trickle down through centre field. I know that, like the old school AFL style, it was a count-up clock, so there's no actual countdown clock. You don't know how long is actually left. You do these days because of all the different TV broadcasts and whatever else, but yeah, it feels a bit that way here. Any rugby league fans can weigh that. Let us know what you used to do at the game if there was no, before there were, big screens and scoreboards and how all that sort of stuff worked.
Hand signals.
Yeah, okay. Off the left-hand side here to Fingo. I know the teams know what's going on, but it's more just the spectators, which includes us, apparently, at the time being. Cullen Gahu tackled 35 out from that southern line. Little at dummy half, across for the balance. Second last play this for the Dragons. Flanagan and now Gutherson. Run down from behind there by Aaron Shop. Last play here, St George Illawarra. Flanagan back to King Tongia, and he just punts it high in the air once more to end the set. Little got there back with the flight, fed it back to no one apart from Tommy Talau. Manly back on the overlap here, Luke Lewis. They lead 34 points to 18 with about 4 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, I just want to see a wow moment right now. It'd be nice just to see Manly set up here, shift to the right, come up with a pretty cool play or an intercept. I just want to see something, because at the moment, the last sort of 8 minutes, this game has just been a little bit stale.
Yes. Ben Trebojevic stands in the tackle of Jacob Little. Just by the way, on the Canberra achievements of minor premiership, they're the first team since 2012 that isn't the Roosters, Melbourne or Penrith to win the minor premiership. Unbelievable.
Very good.
That's a good little stat I saw earlier. Simpkin, flat ball from dummy half there for Tavanga. Straightens his run there into Emre Gawler, and he'll play it 40 out centre field. And now Brooks receives off a step, his left foot kick. Tyrell Sloan will launch, compete with Hopewadi. It's sort of bounced off the back of Sloan in the path of Brooks, who puts through, but
just run into it. Don't let him compete.
Penalty here, Dragons.
Yeah, you might be, but you make
coming
contact,
back to. Oh no, it's. Is he saying it's penalty going? Oh, he's saying Hopewadi, so it's a penalty Dragons, and they'll find touch on the western side.
I don't know about that. Hopewadi was looking at the ball.
Touchline, Michael Carianis.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but Spriggy, there used to be clocks at games. They just went digital clocks.
No.
So they used to be able to see them on the
Would
side.
it count up or down?
Well, I'm not that old.
Well, you give me information.
This doesn't count up or down. It was just like a normal clock.
Fair enough. I can see there's about 3 minutes left here. All right. Yeah, they would count down. Thank you, Zano, in the studio. Left-hand side they go. Fingo on here now to Tuipulotu. Run down from behind by Jason Saab in that far southeastern corner of Jubilee Stadium, Cogra. King Tongia. Inside ball here for Loco Pacifici Tonga. And he's tackled 11 out left-hand side of the post. Little open side right here again as Gawler. Pass bounces out to Jaden Sewer. And he steps on the inside there. Bullymore tackled 10 out centre field in front of those southern uprights here. Little onto De Bellin, and now he offloads back to Little, and now Emre Gawler can score behind the posts. There will be a consolation try. And Emre Gula, who scored here 3 weeks ago against Cronulla Sutherland. That was his first try since 2023 that day. So he scored 2 tries in the space of this month. Alas, it will be all in vain quite late in this game as Manly Warringah leads 34, St George Illawarra 22. Kick to come Dragons.
Yeah, like you said, Spriggy, it's a consolation try as well. I've got it here about 3.5 minutes left on the clock. So they can't get away with it now. 34-22, kick from in front. Kyle Flanagan's already got it lined up and ready to go. But yeah, good Sheeran getting his second try of the year. Don't come too often for him, but nice try from the Dragons.
And MC on the touchline.
Nice try there for the Dragons as Kyle Flanagan lines up.
Yes. Do you want to call it for us, MC? No, okay, thank you. There's the successful conversion there for Flanagan. 4 from 4 for him. And 0467920222. Ken in Sandringham, Victoria says, hopefully the idiot who in the grey tracksuit who invaded the pitch wasn't a Dragon supporter. If he was, it makes me embarrassed to be one. Thank you, Ken. Yes, I think the boys had scoreboards. Yeah, I'm getting a few people sitting there.
I remember when the coach used to go like that, two for 2 minutes, but we used to think take the 2.
Market Mystery Bay is saying 9 minutes to go. That was a while ago. Mike in Canberra asked, the Warriors have much to play for against the Seagulls next Friday. Yes, indeed. Obviously, more wins. Well, the door is open now for Brisbane, of course, playing next against the Cowboys. This is a little, very short kickoff, just sort of towed away by Cherry Evans. The Sabs, so it's effective now for the Seagulls. But yes, it's sort of out of their hands now, the Warriors, because the Broncos, if they win, they have a superior for and against. They'll go back into the 4. If the Broncos lose to Melbourne next week and the Warriors beat Manly, they'll go back in the top 4. Of course, the Sharks are also involved in that logjam as well. So the Warriors have heaps to play for. As Tavanga is run down from behind, 20 out centre field here for the Seagulls. 34-24 is the scoreline here in these dying stages. Brooks inside ball, Trebojevic. And there's still a few tackles left here for the Sea Eagles. Pullymore run away from DeBellin, shares it with Shop, left edge here to Hopewadi, fends off Sloan. This is last played now, Seagulls, deep in that northwestern corner of Jubilee Stadium, Cogra, right in front of us. Open side right they come, Brooks, crossfield bomb. Through the air, Safinga brings it down here for the Dragons. Saying he knocked it on here into the back of a teammate. So it's going to be a Manly scrum, 10 out from that northern line, 34-24, just for some fun. It's the captain's challenge.
Okay, Dragons challenging, mate. I've got a knock on off Matt into his back.
It definitely touches Lyken's back. Definitely in that last replay.
It's clear Manly's right side kick chase is onside.
There you go. Get a better look of it now. Gets up nice and high.
Minute 19 left, by the way, Adam G. You heard that?
Knocks the ball forward into his
The Dragons player loses possession and touches his own player. This is a knock-on. The captain's challenge is unsuccessful.
Just by the way, the New South Wales Cup, Louis, so full-time score there. Canberra beaten Penrith 34-8. You'll recall the Panthers team had their New South Wales Cup side playing basically in the first round on Thursday night. Yeah. That now eliminates Penrith from New South Wales Cup finals because they were... So Raiders will finish 5th and knock the Panthers out of the finals of New South Wales Cup because of those players that were being used in first round on Thursday. Of course, I know what's more important for the club, but it's a curious little sort of tidbit there. So, minute or so left here, as Adam G mentioned. Scrum feed Manly. Comes to Brooks, left-hand side of that scrum, and he's run down from behind there by Flanagan. He'll play it deep in that northwestern corner of the ground. Shop, we're running long here as well, so we'll have to get a very quick 3-2-1 from you very shortly, Louis, and then we'll head across to Townsville, up to Townsville. The Cowboys v Broncos, Brenton Hull, Grant Bell, Laurie Spina. Simpkin dummy half here. Cherry Evans goes on the toe. Varley spills it. He recovers. The ball hit the deck, didn't it? That's a knock-on.
We're about to have a look.
Well, I think they'll see it's a knock-on. He sort of paddled it away in front of himself.
Coming in to tackle 3. I believe we might have a knock-on off Caleb, but he's grabbed prior to that. So I got a penalty try because he's getting in front.
Ooh, penalty try.
Okay, that does complicate matters. So, here tonight, by the way, 2 tries for Corey Waddell, singles for Kohler, Cherry Evans, Shoppers for Lau. 6 tries to 4 at the moment. He's on the side. Liam Kennedy says in the bunker here.
Definitely onside. Gets the touch there, but he says he gets held out of the play.
By Helen Gahu.
He's saying he's getting held out of the play.
The Dragons player holds the Manly player back.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
They'll check if Manly take clean possession.
Oh, well, he would have if you're saying that he held him back. So he already gets his hand to it and pulls his hand back. So,
the Manly player knocks on. The first infringement is the tackle without the ball. We're just now checking proximity.
Proximity. Well, he had the ball in his hand. What are they talking about? If he didn't grab that other hand, he would have had two hands on the ball.
The player is leading the chase, and if not for the foul, a try would have been scored. Decision made.
Yeah, there's confusion reigning here, and
penalty try.
Yeah. So penalty try for the Seagulls, and Caleb Navale will be 38-24, kick to come. That does mean it's their 7th try of the game. 4 tries for Lycan King Tongia, Jacob Little, Christian Tupolotto and Emre Jula. 38-24 here. And
how many try assists is that for Daly Cherry tonight, you reckon?
You got the number there?
I don't know, but I reckon, I'll tell you what, it feels like it's been every play.
Daly Cherry Evans.
It's going to be timekeeper. Is this game over after this?
I'll take that question on notice from you, Louis, as my stats aren't working. This day has just gone from, well, it's been a good day. It's sort of petering out to, a very natural conclusion, so to speak. Off to Townsville very shortly. The kick-off only a few moments away there between the Cowboys and the Bronx. Cherry Evans here directly in front. He's 5 from 6 so far tonight. This to be 6 from 7 and 40 points to 24 here at Cogra Jubilee. It's still not yet full time, or is it? There it is. Didn't hear a hooter.
Yeah,
there we go.
No, he just blew the whistle there, Adam G. We finished to the game.
Who are your 3 best, Louis?
I'm going to go Tom Trbojevic for 3. I thought he was outstanding. Daly Cherry Evans for 2. Try assist after try assist after try assist. And then I went Corey Riddell for 1.
Okay, thank you, Louis. We'll get some reaction from MC shortly and bring that to you later on. We'll also do our wrap for later on in our post-game with Quentin Hull and the team in Townsville. Thank you to you both. Thank you to Dennis Carnahan. Thank you to Ralph Tucker and to Renell Moa and Zane Bojack in the studio. Let's get to Townsville for the Queensland Derby. Quentin Hull, it's all yours.
Thanks, team. Have no fear. We'll send reaction from Cogra to you. Once we get through things here, it seems like the day's had a progression of all the focus on the Gilton and Shield and the Raiders locking that away in Canberra. And, well, look, Manly fans getting a bit of joy in that second game. But now the door to the top 4 is open for the Brisbane Broncos. Can they take it tonight against a North Queensland team playing its last game of the season? The Cowboys won't play finals. They've got a bye next week. And if they want any other motivation than to go out with a big performance tonight, the heroes of their 2015 grand final victory are in the house. It's the 10-year anniversary of the grand final that many regard as the greatest of the modern era. Quentin Hull alongside Grant Bell and Laurie Spinner in gorgeous conditions in Townsville. The sold-out sign is up. The house is humming. And can the Broncos make it 3 wins in a row? Last week they were too good for the Knights, particularly in the second half. 46-12 at the Hunter. Prior to that, beating the Dolphins 38-28. So they're 13 wins. The Cowboys, well, they've won their last couple as well, albeit against some of the teams in the lower reaches of the competition. Last time they were at home, they beat the sputtering Knights, and last start it was a win over the Tigers, a pretty creditable one at that, at Leichhardt Oval. So 9.5 wins for the Cowboys this year. Broncos with 13 wins. There is a late change for North Queensland. Viliami Vailea has been ruled out with a hamstring injury. He was due to play his 50th game in the NRL tonight, but Zach Labert comes into the centres and Kai O'Donnell comes onto the bench for the Cowboys. The 18th man is Jackson Bowler, while for Brisbane there are no changes to the team that was named earlier in the week. So Brendan Piakura returns. He's on the bench. He'll play his 50th game in the NRL, coming back from a bit of time out with repeated concussions, and Jesse Arthurs makes way. He is the replacement player and 18th man. Billy, great to be alongside you for yet another instalment of North Queensland versus Brisbane. Broncos with a lot to play for. before, and with the bragging rights of recent times, they've won the last 5 against the Cowboys, including back in round 3 this year. It was 26-16 at Lang Park. How are you?
I'm very well, mate, and it's great to be back here. And I'll tell you what, we've done a few of these together.
Yeah.